From Lisa Fleming being covered in maggots to Jeanne Covey living in her own filth, there have been some totally disgusting episodes of my 600-pound life, and in this compilation of my videos, we're looking at the absolute worst of the worst, starting with Jeanne Covey, whose cuts got infected with fecal matter after her mother didn't clean her properly. From having her parents wipe her clean after she goes to the toilet, and spending all of her disability allowance on fast food and junk food, it's easy to see why many 600-pound life fans called Jeanne Covey selfish and spiteful, and this episode features some of the most disgusting scenes I have covered yet. Not only are there physically disgusting scenes, like when Dr. Now questioned whether she was wiping properly, but emotionally awful scenes too, as we will come to see very soon. Starting out though, 36-year-old Jeanne is almost completely immobile, relying on her elderly parents to do everything for her. From making her meals to wiping after her after she's been in the toilet, her parents bear the brunt of her care. Jeanne suffers daily due to her chronic obesity and health issues because of her weight. After gaining extra weight, Jeanne could no longer use the shower after an extremely bad fall, and due to her size, meant that she became trapped there for hours. This means that she relies on her mother to wash her while in bed using a bowl and washcloth, a humiliating ordeal for both participants. From her bed, Jeanne commands her family to complete the various tasks she requires in order to keep her comfortable. And we learn the root cause of Jeanne's food addiction.
I'm happy as long as I keep eating. So I think that feeling is what I'm addicted to. Ever since I was a child, I knew I could use food to escape whatever it was I was dealing with when things got really bad.
Growing up with a single mother, Jeanne lived with her grandma a lot of the time due to her mother working 2 jobs to earn enough money to support the family. But Jeanne's grandma was very abusive towards her, often hitting her with metal coat hangers or extension cords as punishment, leaving her with bruises from her neck down to her toes. Jeanne reveals that this spiraled her eating disorder, as she would steal her grandma's sugary soda drinks and snacks as a way of revenge to get back at her for all of the horrible things she'd done.
So when my grandmother would beat me or say something horrible to me, what I would go to make me feel better was food. So I started to get a little chubby then, and I was over 100 pounds by the time I was 6.
Being over 100 pounds at the small age of 6 is over double the average weight of a child that age, putting extreme stress on Jeanne's body, not to mention the traumatic effect on the school playground, as we all know how cruel children can be. Things only got worse for Jeanne, as she was abused by one of her mother's boyfriends, keeping the abuse a secret and using food as a way to soothe herself. This traumatic event was a catalyst for Jeanne, and she unfortunately spiraled, gaining over 100 pounds in just 3 years. As a 9-year-old, she weighed over 200 pounds, the average weight of a 6-foot adult male. And if you thought it couldn't get any worse for Jeanne, you'd be wrong, as her grandma became even more abusive as time went on. Punishments that her grandma gave were bizarre too, like making Jeanne smoke a pack of cigarettes as a preteen. It's very unfortunate that Jeanne just didn't have much support growing up, and wasn't really given much of a chance at life. Jeanne's grandma died when she was 13 years old, and after revealing the extent of her trauma with her mother, it looked like things were going to get better for Jeanne, and she could finally heal and move on with her life. But the pain was still there, and the only way she felt like she could carry on was through food. At 15 years old, Jeanne was over 350 pounds, making her high school life very difficult. Developing depression as a result of all the bullying, Jeanne ended up dropping out at just 17 years old, meaning she wouldn't get any qualifications. This negative spiral just continued, as Jeanne kept eating and eating until she weighed over 400 pounds at the age of 18. Jeanne's weight had massive impact on her lifestyle too, as she found it extremely difficult to do what most people her age could do with ease.
And I tried to get a job and work and get my GED, but it was too hard at my size. And as I got into my 20s, my depression got even worse, and I put on another 100 pounds really quickly. And when I hit 500 when I was around 23, is when I went on disability, because I was starting to have a hard time getting up and doing anything, and it was just impossible for me to work.
And it seems like getting the disability allowance was one of the worst possible things that could have happened to Jeanne, as she now had an excuse to not go to work and just keep eating. because she was being rewarded for it. Jeanne medically had no health conditions at all, but her disability was obesity itself. If Jeanne tried to lose weight, start exercising, and just generally move around a bit, she would have been able to slowly improve her lifestyle and reintegrate into society. But Jeanne just didn't want to do this, and once she got her disability check, she was fully consumed by her addiction.
And because of that, I started mostly just staying home. The only thing I got out for was to go to church. And my world started to become just my house and my mom. And that's the way it was for a while. So my eating didn't change. Except I think I eat more now than I did then. Because my life over the last 10 years has completely become my house. I'm so big I don't even know what I weigh, and I can't even function anymore.
Her lifestyle is probably most people's worst nightmare. She has practically no life. She doesn't leave the house and she has no friends. Jeanne's own mother even has this to say about her situation, which just speaks volumes.
Had I known that she would end up like this, I would have never had her. Not because I don't love her, but because I would have rather died than have her live like she's living.
In reality, Jeanne is just waiting in bed to die and doesn't think that there's any way that she can be helped. Despite this, she has one last chance at changing her life, and that is with an appointment with Dr. Now. Spending years isolated in the house has caused Jeanne to develop severe anxiety, and she's unsure if she will even be able to make it out of the house at all. But a few cigarettes later, Jeanne develops enough courage to make it to the car, having a borderline breakdown on the way.
I'm not getting out here. I don't really have to go right now. I just want a cigarette and I want to try to calm down because I'm getting really anxious.
Get me a soda, a really big one, please. I need something with sugar to help my nerves.
The pain and discomfort Jeanne is experiencing from the car journey is made even worse by her idea that people are constantly staring and laughing at her.
Already staring at me and probably making comments about how big I am. And I don't need to deal with that. So I'm just not getting out because people are jerks.
There were people over there on the grass staring and pointing, just like I told you. And this lady just drove by and slowed down and just stared at me.
You don't have to worry about it. I hate people. I hate people.
They think that having some kind of disability, that it's funny, because they're normal or whatever, but karma's and it will come back on them.
Whether it's fact or fiction, Jeanne is definitely extremely self-conscious about her appearance, feeling like an endangered animal in a zoo. She is obsessed with making sure people can't see her, as she automatically assumes they will just laugh at her weight. From living her entire adult life at home, hardly ever leaving the house, it's clear that this has had a massive negative impact on her mental health, and Jeanne has a lot to recover from, with her weight just being the start of it. Finally arriving in Houston with her first appointment with Dr. Now, Jeanne steps on the scales for the first time in years, weighing 702 pounds, making her one of the heaviest people ever on the show. Jeanne is absolutely mortified to weigh over 4 times the amount of an average person. In her appointment, Jeanne is adamant she won't be able to lose any weight without the surgery, and if she can't have it, she'll just return home and wait to die.
Okay, so how do you think we address that?
I think getting the weight loss surgery, I think that would help.
What is the problem that you think the solution is weight loss surgery?
Because I'm too heavy and I can't do it without it.
Okay, so you decided already what the solution is for your problem. But I got news for you. That solution is not the solution for your problem. Your problem is your eating disorder, and surgery does not correct eating disorder.
Okay, I understand that.
I hope you do.
As we've seen before, the stars just expect to be given weight loss surgery as if this will fix all of their problems. When someone is as overweight as Jeanne, literally over 700 pounds, they're consuming about 8 to 10,000 calories every single day, potentially even more. Their stomachs are stretched to their absolute limit, so they feel much hungrier than the average person, because there's just a massive space to fill. On top of this, Jeanne will still have her habit of binge eating every few hours. The weight loss surgery isn't a miracle cure that will make her cravings all go away. It's a useful tool for weight loss over extended periods of time, but Jeanne doesn't want to say it this way at all.
You are responsible for your behavior, and you are responsible for your eating habit, and surgery is not going to correct that.
No, but it'll give me the tool to help with it.
If you want a different life, you have to be ready to do something about it.
Even looking back at how she gained all of this weight, Jeanne is again being unrealistic as she can't admit to the extent of her eating. When Dr. Now asks Jeanne what an average day in her life looks like on her diet, Jeanne is anything but honest.
Okay, tell me a typical day. What do you eat?
My dad likes to make eggs and cheese and toast.
Okay, so you eat for lunch usually. What do you eat?
I normally don't eat lunch.
Whatever label you're giving it, what do you eat
Well,
then?
we can call it dinner, but like if we get pizza, I'll have all the pizza except for 2 slices because I'm hungry.
Okay, so then after that, what do you eat?
If I get hungry, I'll have like an orange.
Then after that,
That's it.
till you go to bed?
Yeah, usually.
Okay, that's a lot, but you're still leaving a lot out because that won't get you out to over 700 pounds. So you're already blaming your weight on other things, and now you're lying to me about how much you eat. So I'm very concerned right now.
Now, surprisingly, even when Dr. Now asks Jeanne's mother what she eats, she lies too, stating that they eat regular meals in small portions and the only snacks they eat are fruit and the occasional half-diet soda drink. If this was true, there would be no way Jeanne would weigh anything close to 700 pounds. And it's always the same with these patients. They think they're the exception of the rule of weight gain. And if you're a subscriber to my channel, which I massively appreciate if you are, you already know that 90% of the patients who see Dr. Now are in this mentality. They seriously believe that they eat the same things as normal people, and the excessive weight gain must be due to some mysterious health issue, or the classic water weight. To make matters worse, Jeanne reveals she's in a lot of pain from a sore on her leg. From Dr. Now's examination, we learn that it's severely infected and is prone to bleeding, because the skin just isn't able to heal properly. Concerned for her, Dr. Now instructs Jeanne to stay a night in the hospital to run some tests and see how serious this issue is. Her skin issue gets dangerous as it begins pouring with blood. In an emergency, Jeanne's mother calls for the nurses to come in. The situation is escalated to Dr. Now, where he finds that, and please be warned, this is genuinely disgusting, Jeanne's mother is not washing her well enough after she uses the bathroom, so her wound has become infected with fecal matter, which Dr. Now has to clean and scrape away from the dead flesh. Her wound is so serious that Dr. Now predicts that if she hadn't come to the hospital when she did, the skin infection would have become even more infected and could have potentially killed her within a few months. Jeanne needs to lose weight immediately, as this is the only way this wound will start to heal properly. After a short while at the hospital on Dr. Now's diet, Jeanne is relieved to find that she weighs 685 pounds, 17 pounds down from when she arrived at her first appointment. By the end of the hospital stay, Jeanne loses 53 pounds in total, making her 650 pounds. Continuing her weight loss at home, Jeanne tries to motivate herself to exercise more by feeding her 9 dogs and refilling their water throughout the day. But this has its negative consequences too, as Jeanne struggles to keep her wound clean because of the bacteria from having so many dogs in such a small house. But Jeanne wants to continue her weight loss journey, asking her mother to follow the meal plan that Dr. Now gave them. Jeanne must lose another 50 pounds by herself within the next month to qualify for weight loss surgery. But as we'll come to see, it won't quite work out that way. At her next appointment a month later, Jeanne steps on the scales again, reading 678 pounds, meaning that Jeanne gained 29 pounds at home rather than losing 50. Jeanne is mortified over her massive failure, and Dr. Now isn't listening to any of her excuses.
The evidence of what you lose when you're on diet and eating what you should. So there's no way you're eating 1,200 calories. There's no way you're eating 2,000 calories. There's no way you're eating 4,000 calories. That math doesn't add up.
Lying through her teeth yet again, Jeanne is adamant she only ate 1,200 calories a day, sticking to the diet that Dr. Now gave her. But we all know this isn't true. She's desperate for the weight loss surgery and will say absolutely anything in order to qualify for it.
Eating too much.
Okay, I won't overeat anymore. I will make sure that it's the
what
1,200 calories, because I'm gonna prove you wrong that I can do this. I'm gonna do it.
You told me 2 months ago that you will do it.
But actually doing the work is a different story. Jeanne's time is running out, and losing the weight is the only way she can avoid certain death, which is achieved by sticking to the weight loss program and shedding the pounds. But her and her mother are in complete denial about her behavior and her diet.
Oh, I understand, but I didn't realize
You
that I was doing
overeating
it.
yourself and you overfeeding her too.
I understand that I'm screwing up.
No, you don't. You're both lying. And you don't plan on changing.
If I didn't know I had a problem, I wouldn't be here to begin with. I know that this is my last chance. I know that I'm dying. I know that I'm not gonna make it if I don't get help. And I'm trying to do whatever I can. So I messed up. I'm sorry.
Dr. Now is much nicer than many people would be in this situation, as he gives her another chance and a different goal: 2 months to lose £100. Now, personally, I'm not confident that she'll do it, but like we saw in my Greatest Transformations video, people can turn their journey around. And a month later, Jeanne is saying she's making good progress and sticking to her diet, even exercising in bed.
All I need is weight loss surgery. And not only did I not get my approval, I have to go back into the hospital with my mom.
But the cameras only record so much, and the truth will come out when she steps on the scales again in Dr. Now's office. As a month goes by, we get to see just that. According to Jeanne, she has worked as hard as possible to lose the weight, and there's no way she's stepping on that scale and she won't have lost at least £100. And as you'd have guessed, she was wrong. In the 2 months since Dr. Now gave her a final chance to qualify for weight loss surgery, Jeanne has lost a whopping £7. Her complete failure leaves her devastated as she loses her big chance for weight loss surgery. Frustrated and upset, Jeanne can't understand why she's barely lost any weight. Dr. Now is quite annoyed with both Jeanne and her mother for their negligence when it comes to her health. But he does notice that Jeanne's wound is getting worse and is fearful that this could severely threaten her life. So he refers her back to the hospital for further tests, just to get an idea of how serious this wound actually is. Upon finding that the infection has become even worse than they initially thought, Dr. Now refers Jeanne to psychotherapy as a last resort to help work through her mental issues, hoping that this will enable her to overcome her struggles and motivate her to focus on the weight loss to literally save her life. Now, in a surprising turn of events, Jeanne's mother becomes extremely sick, as an operation she had the previous year didn't heal properly, causing Dr. Now to perform emergency surgery on her to save her life. This puts massive pressure on Jeanne, as she realizes that without her mother, there really is no one left to take care of her properly. Fortunately, the surgery went very well, and Dr. Now keeps her in the hospital for a while after surgery to try and keep her weight down too, as she's also very overweight. This is quite a wake-up call for Jeanne, as she hates to see her mother in so much pain, so she pledges that she will lose the weight so she can look after her mother, and not the other way around. Things seem to be getting better for Jeanne and her mother, but unfortunately, they do get some terrible news. Jeanne has been calling her father daily, updating them on their situation and how their mother is doing after surgery, but he then stops answering the phone. Concerned for his safety, as this is just totally out of the blue, Jeanne calls 911 and asks the police to do a welfare check on him, just to make sure everything's okay.
I don't know. Was he in the back bedroom?
Is he okay?
Did he look like maybe he passed in his sleep? Okay. It looked like he just went to sleep and just didn't wake up. I don't think it has really hit me.
Jeanne's mother, Barbara, breaks down as you'd expect. She's just had major surgery and somehow has to find her way to get back home, which is over a 4-hour drive, to make the funeral arrangements. Dr. Now is sympathetic to Barbara and offers his best advice for her to get home quickly.
Let me make some arrangement to get some medical transport for you to get you home safely, okay? Okay.
What about my car? That's the only car I have.
Well, maybe we can get somebody to drive that for you.
Thank you, Doc. I appreciate it.
So what you need to do every hour, get out of the car and walk for 5-10 minutes so you don't develop blood clot, okay? All right, we make arrangement for you to get back home,
Thank you,
okay?
Doc. I appreciate it.
Sorry about your loss.
This traumatic event completely throws Jeanne off from her weight loss program, which is totally understandable, and Dr. Now advises that she takes the time to recover emotionally before trying to be enrolled in the program again. But it's important to note that Jeanne must keep in her mind that her life is on the line, as her organs are at massive risk of failing, and she can't just slip back into her old habits because of her father's death. With her father gone, Jeanne decided not to return to Houston, as they have no one to look after their dogs if they leave. Without her father around to clean, clean, their home has become extremely dirty, and things don't look very optimistic for Jeanne at all.
Right now, it's not the right time for me to give up food. I'm not in a place physically or mentally to do that.
With Barbara still recovering from her surgery, she's unable to keep the house clean at all as she is still practically bedbound, and the mess from their 9 dogs piles up very quickly. Despite having lost her father, which is obviously devastating, Jeanne isn't doing anything to help her mother, who has lost her partner of over 40 years and who is recovering from major surgery. Jeanne is completely selfish, and claiming that she doesn't have time to think about the weight loss proves that. She couldn't make an effort for herself, let alone her poor mother. Ultimately, Jeanne fails Dr. Now's weight loss program, unable to stick to a diet outside of the hospital, hoping that the weight loss surgery would have been a quick fix. Jeanne is convinced that another opportunity will magically appear to cure her, but we all know the only real way out is through a calorie deficit, which she doesn't want to have.
I encourage everybody to subscribe to the Craig's YouTube channel and enjoy the videos.
After she went viral for eating carrot cake off her stomach and getting paid to eat on camera, Samantha from My £600 Life had one of the most confusing and frustrating stories on the show. Her size makes everyday life nearly impossible, and she can barely even go to the toilet by herself without it taking monumental effort. But it's hard to change when this is how you make a living.
My life is so miserable now because I've let my weight get so out of control that I'm barely functioning. And it's getting harder and worse every single day. And I know I'm very close to becoming bedridden, and it's getting harder to get out of bed.
Samantha has a specific issue with her stomach, as it's so big that it hangs down past her knees, making walking difficult and painful.
And once I get there, I'm at the point where it's getting hard to fit through the door, mostly because of my stomach and how far it hangs.
Because it's so much effort for Samantha to get to the shower, she's actually too tired to bathe herself. Not to mention the fact that her size limits her from stepping inside the shower, so Samantha has to lean over the side and wash herself this way instead. Bathing has become such a monumental task that Samantha is struggling to cope. So much so that she can no longer wash daily because it's so energy consuming.
And it's getting so hard to keep clean. I've had to go from bathing every day to about every 4 days because I have to work so hard to do it. But even on days when I push myself to do it, some areas I can't even reach. Without using a stick or something, I have to reach and poke and prod at myself. So it's so hard. And I hate that I've let myself get to this point where I'm struggling just to keep clean. One of these days, with all the pain and how exhausted I feel, I'm not going to be able to do it anymore. Come on, Samantha, come on. Okay. If I fall in that little tiny bathroom, I'm just gonna stay there for God knows how long without a phone to call for help.
Keeping yourself clean is important at any size, but when you're super morbidly obese, cleanliness becomes even more important due to the amount of excess skin. At Samantha's size, like most stars on the show, she has many skin folds where the fatty tissue overlaps, creating big crevices. If these aren't kept clean, the skin can become irritated and break, leading to infection. Many stars of the show have an infection or two as a result of this, and if you're a fan of my videos, you'll definitely be familiar with the worst case I've ever seen, which involves Lisa Fleming and the family of maggots living on her leg.
A month ago, I started feeling sick and my leg was really bothering me. I kept saying, my leg is hurting bad. And when Danielle pulled open the folds of my skin, she found little maggots on there. So now she has to check my leg every day, and I can't believe it got so bad.
So yeah, hygiene is really important, especially when you're over 600 pounds. Because Samantha's life is so unrelenting, she relies solely on food to keep her healthy.
So all I want to do is find ways to forget about my life. So I eat because food lets me do that. And that's mostly what I do all day, is eat. I have food delivery set up on a schedule starting in the morning. I have to have it brought to me because walking up and down stairs, I'm too weak to do that now. And I'm scared to admit that just walking across the apartment to get the food is almost more than I can handle. But instead of thinking about that, I just think about the food I'm about to eat and how full it's about to make me. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you.
Be careful.
Okay.
All right. Have a nice day.
You too. because more than anything else, it's the feeling of being full that I love.
In one of her scheduled deliveries, we get to see the sheer amount of food that Samantha has ordered to eat. A real insight into the coping mechanisms which have got her to the size she is. Looking at the contents, Samantha's breakfast could feed a family of 4. Although it's blurred for copyright reasons, I've done my best to calculate the calories. 8 sausage burritos, which is 2,096. 20 chicken nuggets, which is 890. 2 quarter-pounder burger meals, which is 2,100. A box of cookies, which is 2,160. 3 sausage McMuffins, which is 1,000. And 2 large caramel frappes, which is 1,340. This brings Samantha's breakfast to a total of 9,585 calories, a nearly 10,000 calorie breakfast. To put that in perspective, 10,000 calories is the amount of food that a healthy person should be eating over 4 to 5 days, not in a single breakfast sitting. Thinking of healthy meals is hard, especially when ordering takeaway food is so easy. That's why I created the Fat Loss Kitchen newsletter, and I have 2 major announcements to give you. One involving Casey King from Family by the Ton. But first I want to announce that my cookbook is out right now, and it's available from fatlosskitchen.com. And for the first 3 days, it is 15% off. And if you use code Craig, you can get an extra 15% off. But be quick, as this is only a 3-day deal and applies until the 23rd of June. Now, my second announcement is that tonight's free newsletter recipe features Casey King's favourite weight loss meal, zucchini boats, which are also included in the cookbook, so everyone can see the meal he used to achieve his massive weight loss. Casey very kindly sent this in after I asked, and I can't wait to share it with over 6,000 of you who have joined the Fat Loss Kitchen so far. We've put a ton of time and effort into the cookbook, and I can't wait to hear what you all think about it. It is a digital cookbook too, so as soon as you buy it, you receive it straight to your inbox, and you can get started right away. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and let's get back into the video.
Food can fill me up and make me feel the most comfort that I've ever felt. It makes me feel like I'm at home and that I'm safe, as long as I'm full and happy. Because food is a hug from the inside. And no matter how much I eat, it's never enough. And there are days where I ask myself how I ended up here. And I know it's because food has always been the most important thing in my life.
Now, one thing about this show I think is hard for people to understand is the sheer volume of food it takes for someone to get to this size. It's not done by accident or having too many sweet treats or cheap meals. It's done by consistently eating supersized meals over several years. This behaviour has changed Samantha's life enormously, as her food addiction not only limits her quality of life drastically, but it also threatens to kill her. But how did she get here? What life experiences does someone have to have in order to have such a toxic relationship with food?
Food has been the greatest source of comfort in my life as far back as I can remember. And because of that, I cannot remember a time in my life where I was not overweight.
Samantha has always been overweight since she could remember, but it really skyrocketed out of control when she was just 5 years old, and her parents had gotten a divorce. Samantha's dad played a huge part in the divorce and her trauma, as he was very abusive throughout her life.
He was a wonderful guy, sober. And even though he never laid a hand on me or my younger sister, he would get drunk and he was horrific to my mother and to my older brother and sister. And I remember when things would start to get crazy, I would eat something and it would calm me down. And I was already around 150 pounds when I was 7.
By the time Samantha was 7, she weighed the same as a fully grown 5'7" woman, a dangerous weight for such a young child. While living with her dad, they restricted the amount of food they let Samantha eat. So when she would stay with her mother on the weekend, she would binge eat an incredible amount of food.
When Samantha lived with me, there was no restrictions. Whatever she wanted to have, she had. Her stepmother and her dad did, at some points, try to restrict that. And she really did not respond very well to that.
By the time Samantha was 10 years old, she weighed over 200 pounds, the size of an average 6-foot grown man. In 2 years, Samantha gained another 100 pounds, where she unfortunately started to get bullied because of her size. The cycle started to get even worse, as the bullying meant that Samantha would eat for comfort, only to gain more weight. A tragic rinse and repeat story. When Samantha left school at 17, she was over 400 pounds. She was desperate for love and affection, and she met a boyfriend and quickly fell pregnant, and used the pregnancy as an excuse to lie down and eat for 9 months, where she gained yet another 100 pounds. At 500 pounds, Samantha gave birth to her daughter Bella, and unfortunately the couple broke up just 2 weeks later. This time was really hard for Samantha, as you can probably guess, as she was raising a baby on her own, then having her dad pass away in a motorcycle accident, which tipped her completely over the edge.
And it's still something I haven't gotten over to this day. because in his final years, my dad and I had grown really close. And he came to me before he died and said, I am so sorry for being drunk and violent and mean. That's where we bonded. So after my dad passed away, I was so depressed that I could barely take care of myself. So Bella went to go live with my mom, and I used food to cope.
At over 800 pounds, it all got too much for her, and Samantha tried to take her own life.
My method was I took a bunch of medications, including 5 fentanyl patches onto my body, and Bella was the one who found me.
I just remember I went into the bathroom and her body was trying to reject all the medicine that she had taken, and she told me not to call 911 because she didn't want to be in that hospital. She just wanted to be gone. But I didn't care. I'd called 911 without her because my mom really is my best friend, and losing my mom would probably just break me completely.
With a second chance at life though, recovering from her suicide attempt, Samantha knew she had to start taking life seriously again and find a way to make money. But because she was over 800 pounds, a normal job was pretty much out of the question, so she started doing fetish modelling. Now if you've not seen this before, like I hadn't, fetish modelling is essentially where overweight people, mostly women, post pictures and videos of themselves eating large quantities of food on the internet for people who are into the fetish. It's a really controversial topic, as it's not only quite strange, but it makes it difficult for these women, like Samantha, to change their life around and lose the weight, because this is probably their only source of income. Samantha's had many viral moments, with her most famous one being the carrot cake video, where she eats the entire thing in one sitting, using her stomach as a table like a big otter.
So I have a setup in my apartment where I can film myself eating, and I eat for people. I just eat what I want, and they pay for it, as long as I film it. So that's how I make a living and keep going. And it makes me feel appreciated. So I'm happy to do it. Hi, long time no see, everybody. People ask me all the time, when is gonna be that cake video? Well, it's right now. Thank you for requesting this. It's making me bigger and bigger. I can just feel it.
Samantha really focuses on pleasing her audience, as they essentially get off on the fact that she's making herself gain more and more weight by the food she consumes. To make things worse, her daughter is well aware of her mother's modelling job, and even accepts it.
My mom's self-image really improved after she started that modeling job. It kind of makes her happier because those people find her as beautiful. They find her as a human being, not some huge maniac.
This community that Samantha dedicates so much time to is her real enemy, as they are fueling her worst habits, essentially pushing her towards her own death. As this is Samantha's only real income outside of her disability allowance, she has become completely dependent on it. It's a vicious cycle, as Samantha makes quite a lot of money from her videos, only to fund her fast food delivery habit, start the cycle all over again. And the toll that this is having on Samantha's body is reaching its limit, as she is severely close to becoming immobile.
I last weighed in 6 months ago, legitimately, and I was at 811 pounds. And it's gonna be rock bottom for me if Bella ends up having to help me.
That's not to mention all the other unseen effects it'll be having on her body. At 811 pounds, Samantha is one of the largest stars ever on the show, and given that her last weigh-in was over 6 months ago, it's pretty likely that she's much heavier than this due to her insane eating habits. One of the reasons why Samantha is able to get to this size is because of her height. At 6'2", she's able to gain significantly more weight than the other stars on the show because she has more space to gain it. Not only is she over 6 foot tall, but she's also 4.5 feet wide, literally the size of a horizontal Peter Dinklage from hip to hip. Now, as you can assume, her size makes travel pretty much impossible. She can't find any car to make the drive to Houston to see Dr. Now. The stress of being so overweight takes an emotional toll on Samantha too, as she struggles to cope with her hole that she has dug or ate herself into.
And I'm terrified because I don't know what to do, because I'm almost out of time, and I don't want to die. I hate food now, I just hate it. But I'm gigantic, just the size of my house. Bodies don't want to be 800 pounds. And most bodies die. They just suffer every minute. Everything is uncomfortable all the time. If I don't change, I know I'm gonna die. I know any day now could be it for me. My body will just break from it all. So I know to figure something out. Because if that happens, it's too late.
Just a couple of days after Samantha reached out to Dr. Now to schedule an appointment, she started to have a stomach pain that became severe. Concerned for her health, she called Dr. Now, who advised her to seek medical attention immediately. When she arrived at the hospital, the medical staff diagnosed Samantha with kidney stones, a common condition for obese people due to their diet. Since Samantha is too large to be operated on, all they could do was give her some medication and send her home. To transport Samantha to and from the hospital, they need an insane amount of equipment. She has to be hoisted onto a hospital bed, then a ramp used to move the bed from the ambulance into the apartment building.
Okay, so let's go. Where's the better? Where's the better? Where's the better? Where's the better? We're gonna go. Right. Bring that down. It's 80% minimal. Right. You guys good over there? So, I'm gonna just try to go and lean on things. Okay. Do my thing and. Your time. Oh! Don't move me too hard. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Good. You're almost up. No, thank you so much, man. I'm up. The hard part is done.
A couple of days later, when Samantha is back from the hospital, her family comes round to speak to her about her weight gain. She's hit with some uncomfortable home truths.
I have been sad for a long time about what your life has been, but you were so adverse to doing anything about it.
I think that it's absolutely wonderful that you are ready to get help.
It's time that you got help. There's nothing else to do now.
I just want you to be able to have a normal life and, be happy.
But things don't go to plan, as Samantha's sudden burst of motivation is lost when she runs into another set of health issues. As well as her kidney stones, Samantha is also experiencing chest pain and trouble controlling her bladder. Chest pain is definitely a massive red flag, as that's the first thing that will get you seen straight away in A&E. Issues like these are dangerous enough on their own, but when you're over 800 pounds, they can quickly become a life or death scenario, and she's so concerned that she's dying, she rings 911. Something that I'll just never understand with these patients is that they're so aware that they're so close to death, but they just refuse to stop eating. When the ambulance crew arrive, accompanied by the fire department because of her size, getting Samantha out of her apartment is a difficult challenge.
Take a couple good breaths through your nose. Let's get that going.
Let's do this. I'm gonna stand, okay? And we're just gonna start making a beeline for that door.
I need to.
There we go. I got you. We got you. Don't worry. We got you. Okay, let's start making.
Go that.
Hey, I know it hurts. I know it hurts, but we need to focus. Don't lean back, okay? You're gonna walk with me.
We're good. We're good.
All right,
Let's go.
let's go.
I'm gonna take this out from under you.
They're gonna keep moving fast. You're good.
Keep going a little further.
You stay with me all the way. If you need me, I'm right here in front of you, okay?
You get there. All right, with your right arm, let it go. All right, need more slack. All right, we're gonna just lift up. I'm gonna get rid of it.
Okay, you got a little step out. Good.
Let's go to your right.
You're doing good. Keep going.
Lift up.
All right.
All right, tell us when we're lifting too much. Railing right there first?
Yeah.
All right, let's rest right here. Rest.
We can't get down the step. There's no way to get on the step.
We got it.
I'm not yelling at anybody. I'm just fucking dying.
No, I know. Trust me. We're there with you. We won't let. We're not gonna let you fall. Okay? You're gonna focus on me all the way down. Okay? Let's get you comfortable. Okay?
I was like I'm turning a loose piggyback. Sucks.
Come on. You got this. You're strong enough. You got this. Step down right in front of you. Let's do it. Focus on me. Come on. Focus on me. Which leg's coming first? There we go. You're good. One more step. Another step. One more step. Come on. I know. It hurts. I know. I'm sorry. Come on. You're doing great. One more. Come on, one at a time. One more. Let's go.
You guys behind me have to get me. I'm losing my strength.
Keep going. We got you. Let's go. Let's go.
Good job.
Let's
Keep
go.
moving. Keep moving. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Two more steps.
Come on.
Keep going.
One more step.
Good job.
One more step. One more step. All
Good
right.
job.
I know. Come on. Let's go.
These are scary.
That's all right.
I know.
That's all right.
We got you. We got you. Come on.
All right.
Good job.
Watching Samantha struggle to get down the apartment is honestly painful. Imagine trying to walk down the stairs carrying an extra 600 pounds. It's not any easier when it's attached to your body. Just as an example, next time you're in the gym, pick up a 25-pound dumbbell and try and walk around with it. Then try and imagine carrying 20 of those around your body at all times. The insane resources it takes just to move Samantha is also crazy, as it requires a dozen people from both the hospital and the fire service. The sheer strain on resources that stars on the show create is huge, as most stars require this level of support just to get to each of their hospital appointments. Now arriving at the hospital, Samantha has to undergo numerous tests to find the cause of her pain, which includes blood tests, ultrasounds, and even x-rays. But due to her size, Samantha can't fit inside the CAT scan machine. Now you may have heard the urban legend before where morbidly obese patients were sent to zoos to use their CAT scan machines. And after a little bit of digging, because I didn't believe that either, it's apparently happened before, according to one NHS consultant. I promise you, this is absolutely true. It is my understanding that she, his medical colleague, had previous experience where patients who had acquired morbid obesity to such a level, they were sent to London Zoo. I can't think of anything worse than having to get a CAT scan in the same place they literally get elephants scanned. But then again, I wouldn't like to imagine being 800 pounds either. Samantha also has a serious problem with holding her bladder, as the sheer weight presses on it causes her to have no control over when she goes to the toilet.
And then, to top it all off, I wet my bed, and it's embarrassing wetting the bed, especially at my age. But because I'm so large, I just can't get up fast enough and just pee on myself. And it's just not clean, and I can't clean myself well enough. Can you help me change my sheets and my pillows so I don't have to sit in my own filth any longer?
Okay. So I am gonna have you lift your legs up.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're just fine. You're just great. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
The excess weight is obviously one of the reasons why Samantha wets herself, but she also mentions that she does it because it's too hard for her to get up to water the toilet herself. At this point, she's pretty much just given up, and is well on her way to becoming completely immobile, and honestly, on the way to the grave. Now this isn't even to mention, Samantha is pretty rude to the nurses looking after her, demanding that they clean her up faster. It must be so hard for the hospital staff, as Samantha is now refusing just to go to the toilet, so they have to do this multiple times throughout the day. Despite all of these issues, wetting the bed, and Samantha's literal fear of her own impending doom, she still picks up the room service phone in order to dial in some food.
That's right. I would like the chicken Caesar salad with chicken breast, the grilled, and ranch dressing with that. And then a bowl of grapes, a bowl of cottage cheese, Pepsi, chocolate milk, and carrot cake. And that'll do it. Thank you.
It's crazy to think that she's still going back for more carrot cake after the feeders video, especially when she isn't even getting paid for it this time. And the room service menu proves to be even more of a curse, as Samantha ends up having to stay at the hospital for 6 whole weeks, with the ability to bring food whenever she feels hungry. Unable to visit Dr. Now because she's not allowed to leave the hospital, Dr. Now desperately tries to get in touch with Samantha's current hospital to get her placed on a calorie-controlled diet ASAP, but this isn't something the hospital can do. So, Samantha is stuck between a rock and a hard place, as she can't get to Dr. Now's hospital to start her treatment, staying at another hospital where she has unlimited access to food. Not even just with the hospital kitchen, but by ordering from local restaurants and getting it delivered directly to her bed. Samantha is in a desperate situation when her nurses checks her weight, revealing just how much weight she'd gained over the past few months.
You doing?
I'm alright.
Just gonna get a weight on you.
Does this have to be off?
All right, looks like 940.
That's not good news.
Anything I can do for you right now?
Nope.
Okay.
That's it.
See you soon.
Thanks, Allison.
You're welcome.
Since the start of the show, Samantha has gained 140 pounds, bringing her weight to 940 pounds, making her one of the biggest stars ever on the show. And literally as the nurse leaves after checking her weight, another walks in with an array of takeaway food on a tray for her. When Samantha first arrived at the hospital, she could walk small distances, use the bathroom, and live somewhat by herself. But since her stay, she's become completely immobile, relying on the hospital staff to maintain her personal care, and relying on delivery companies to bring her every meal. Samantha has been given the perfect environment to self-destruct. She has an entire team to care for her, and she can eat whatever she wants. What motivation is there to change when she is exactly where she wants to be? In a video call with Dr. Now, Samantha is hit with some really tough questions though.
Why are you gaining more weight while you're in the hospital?
Well, I'm not I wasn't really following any kind of a diet plan. I mean, that's my problem. And I have to be completely frank with you. I'm sneaking food around. So when somebody tells me this is what you have to eat, I go into panic mode and feel like I have to get all the food in the world around me because I'm going to starve to death without it.
You know, sometimes you do the math, you probably eating the food that belonged for next 4 years ahead of time. What do you mean you're going to stop? Okay? So the next 4 years, if you don't eat anything, you're going to come even. You follow that?
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
Hey, and that's what exactly happened.
Her life revolves around food. It's literally her entire life. The meeting with Dr. Now goes well, but due to her size, she can't be transported to Dr. Now's hospital, as there's just too much risk in transporting her. So, in order to start treatment properly, Samantha must stick to the 1,200 calorie diet that Dr. Now sends her. But this will be extremely challenging for her, as she has the room service and delivery phone numbers at her fingertips, and must rely solely on her own willpower. Gaining 140 pounds in just a few months is insane. So it would be an achievement for Samantha to go the same length of time just maintaining her weight, but she has the extra challenge of having to lose it too. She needs to go from eating 12,000 calories to just 1,200, a decrease of 90%. Imagine eating only 10% of the food you normally eat, and you'll see how that difference is pretty insane.
And it's always scary to take the first steps to change like this. But remember, as important as food is to you, your life is more important than food. And if you don't make these changes now, then you're gonna kill yourself with the food. You get that?
Yep, for sure.
So lose 250 pounds over the next 2 months. This is gonna be very easy if you stick with the 1,200 calorie diet, okay?
Okay. So like a plan.
And make sure you get up and walk every day.
Over the next few weeks, Samantha does make an effort to stick to her diet and increase her mobility through seeing a PT daily.
Son of a... Okay. We're here.
You good? Alright, bed up?
Yeah, bed up.
Okay.
You know.
I know the routine.
The first few days I was discouraged because I'm working so hard and I'm accomplishing so little.
While she's walking daily, she only loses 10 pounds in a few weeks, nowhere near Dr. Now's expectations. This is due to her diet, as Samantha is still sneaking food and eating more calories than she's supposed to. However, due to her health conditions subsiding, the hospital agrees to allow Samantha to go home. But this doesn't mean that she's off the hook from Dr. Now, as she still needs to lose over 200 pounds in order to make the cross-country journey to see him.
Go! Okay. All right. Right now, with even how far I've come, I still hit my limit too quickly if I'm up. And then I have to have help if I don't want to end up on the floor and in pain. Okay. Sideways.
I got the pants.
But we've made some big changes to make my life easier and to improve my living situation some. The biggest is that Bella helped me find a new apartment on the first floor and move my stuff into it, because trying to make it up a flight of stairs was killing me. So that's a big help. It's going to make getting in and getting out easier.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
But she's only home for 30 seconds before she's on the phone to another takeaway.
Order for delivery? I think
Delivery, please.
Do I have your order?
I would like chicken strips, 4 orders of street corn, just house barbecue flavor ribs, mushroom Swiss burger, fries, molten chocolate lava cake. What are you guys gonna have?
Samantha's daughter watches her place the order visibly upset, likely because she's watching her mother just eat her life away, not motivated at all to lose the weight for Dr. Now.
The positive thing is that I'm able to order anything that I need or want, or like, it's comforting to me. So I've been following the diet. Sometimes it's just like, why bother? If food makes me happy and I'm gonna die anyways, why don't I just make myself happy? Look at that. I'm right off the bone. It's so good it makes me want to cry.
Is it actually really that good?
It really is.
It breaks my heart seeing my mom just kind of lose mobility. I don't know how to describe my emotion today. I was excited for her to come home today, but I was also unsure, because I feel like the best place for her right now is probably the hospital. I used to always expect the worst, and I was trying not to do that and be happy for her. But I know that she's definitely scared of being alone, and I'm just scared that she's gonna have suicidal thoughts and be not okay on her own whenever we leave, and that's terrifying to me. She's been in the hospital for so long that you have people constantly checking up on you. But here, she's on her own. She has no one. At first, everything was fine, and then everything went south really fast.
I just want to go back. I'm so disappointed about the Central Air situation.
It's heartbreaking to see the stress that Samantha is placing on Bella. At such a young age, she's had to grow up fast, worried for her mother's mental health, all while trying to do what's best for her. In my opinion, Samantha is completely selfish, choosing to pick food and dying over trying to improve her life and finally be a proper mother to Bella. The relationship between the pair is totally reversed, with Bella taking the role of the parent and trying to sort her mother's life out. She single-handedly found her mother a ground floor apartment, moved all of her things in, and is doing everything she can do to keep her mother happy and alive.
I can't land on a positive if there's one that exists.
This is a good apartment. This is an amazing apartment.
For a normal-sized person, the size of the Titanic.
You need to find a positive. The more you continue to talk about the negative, the more you
There's no positive, Dawn.
There is a positive.
Where?
You need to find it. Stop thinking negative, because then you're not going to find any sort of positive.
Stop yelling at me.
Then stop yelling at me. People are helping you. People want good things for you. That is a positive.
I want $6 million. Is that helping anything?
Yeah, and people in hell want ice water, Mom.
See, we all want, and it doesn't work.
Well, it's already working, Mom. Look at where you're at. Look at who is here for you. We could have let you do this all on your own.
Don't even start that I'm not thankful. I've thanked you all day.
I know that you're thankful, but like you aren't acting like it, and you're being very negative, which puts me in a very negative mindset. Makes me not want to be around you, Mom.
As the weeks roll by, Samantha relies more and more on Bella to help with everyday activities. So much so that Bella has actually moved in the same apartment as her mother. The tasks are pretty gruesome too, like emptying Samantha's commode throughout the day.
I'm good.
I'm gonna help you hold on your pants.
I got it.
I'm gonna go sit in the bathroom and try not to vomit real quick.
She isn't taking her diet very seriously either, following it here and there and allowing herself sweet treats. What's funny about this too is that she's expected to lose 250 pounds at home, and looking at her, it's clear she hasn't lost anywhere close to that. In fact, she'd gained weight, hitting 974 pounds, just 26 pounds away from 1,000 pounds. And to make matters worse, shortly after her weigh-in, COVID-19 hit the US, and everyone was placed under quarantine. Concerned that she wouldn't survive at home and gain even more weight, she remained in hospital for 5 months as COVID spread. Seriously concerned, Dr. Now decided that Samantha's situation required extreme intervention. In normal circumstances, Dr. Now makes patients lose a significant amount of weight before giving them weight loss surgery to prove that they're capable of losing weight on their own. But in Samantha's situation, her weight is only speeding up, and she has no chance of losing any weight on her own without being physically restricted from eating. But this isn't possible because she can't be transported. So, Dr. Now travels to her hospital and performs a gastric sleeve surgery in a last-ditch effort to keep Samantha from overeating in the hospital and dying. Now, filming during COVID was especially difficult, as the crew weren't allowed inside the hospital to catch up with Samantha. So, we skip to 3 months later, after she's had surgery, and in a crazy turn of events, she's actually down to 638 pounds, a 300 pound drop from her highest weight.
Into weight loss surgery, she has been on a controlled diet for the past few months. And thankfully, all that has been effective to get her weight down. But the concern now is the next steps with her, and making sure we can help her stay on track so she doesn't end up gaining everything back and end up in the same situation again.
But despite her amazing weight loss, Samantha isn't in the place she thought she'd be.
Food makes me happy. The happy me is gone. I just feel incredibly sad.
And it's not a surprise considering she is still 600 pounds. And because she's depressed, she's started to sneak food again.
The psychotherapy is going to be an essential step for her. And we need to make some progress with her emotional issues before she goes back home. So she doesn't undo all the progress she has made and end up back in the same situation again. Because she likely won't survive her body being pushed to that point again.
Samantha is at a crucial point in her journey, as after losing over 300 pounds, her weight loss is slowly plateauing because her body is getting used to the amount of food that she's eating. It's important that Samantha sticks to her diet and pushes through, as well as doing more exercise. To combat this, Samantha is moved into a rehab facility so the team can monitor her progress and restrict her food intake. But this doesn't last long, as she is readmitted to hospital with a severe infection in her leg, which will take a few months to heal. Despite this, she's still losing weight at the hospital and is finally under 500 pounds, meaning that she's pretty much lost half of her body weight. It's expected that Samantha will take another year to get below 200 pounds, her final goal. Due to COVID-19, the show cuts off before we see the end of her journey, but she leaves the following video for all of her fans.
Most recent surgery, the wounds refused to heal, and so I was sent to a rehab facility, and this is where I'm at right now. It's a small setback, but by this time next year, I will have my life back. I've worked way too hard to be at this point in my life right now to give up, and I will not be giving up. My spirits are up, and these wounds are not it. They will not be in my life. I can't see me stopping at this point. This will have all been for nothing if I stop now, so just a small setback.
Now, I did a bit of digging to see where Samantha was now, and it's quite weird to be honest. She posts quite frequently on TikTok, and all of them seem really strange. As of March 2025, she weighs 373 pounds, so still quite away from her goal, but a substantial weight loss nonetheless.
Do you know what going through hell and back is? It's bad. It's really bad. Anyways, I learned that I was 373. I went from 1,000 pounds to 373 pounds, down to 373. Can you believe it? I just wanted to share it with somebody. That's pretty gross. Just need to wash this son bitch. 1,000 pounds to 373. Can you believe that?
And she does seem really positive about the amount of weight she's lost.
Hey, think of these things. A cow, sailboats, 2 ATM machines, vending machines, industrial washing machines, a small aircraft like a Cessna 172, an ornate grandfather clock, a fully grown male gorilla. That's how much weight I've lost. 700 pounds. Can you even imagine that? I'm just giddy. But I wanted to share that with you. Not only that, but I've kept it off since July of 2020. It's really bad when you can't remember the surgeries you've had. I just know that it was 2020. 700 pounds. I can't even get my mind around it.
Although her journey was slow, paused by COVID, and she practically had to be physically forced to go on any sort of diet, Samantha still lost the weight eventually, and you can't fault her for that. She still has over 100 pounds to lose to get to her goal, and I'll definitely be following along to see how she continues. From finding maggots in the folds of her skin to bribing her boyfriend to do unspeakable acts for ice cream, 49-year-old Lisa Fleming has found herself helpless and unable to walk, relying on her family to look after her every single day. With Lisa being one of the oldest stars of the show, she has enlisted not only her daughter, but her grandchildren to help look after her, which led her to becoming one of the most hated stars of the entire series. Because Lisa requires round-the-clock care, and she can't afford to hire a 24/7 healthcare assistant, her children have become her primary caregivers. Her oldest daughter, Danielle, takes on the main responsibility, providing Lisa with all of her meals as well as looking after her personal hygiene. Danielle doesn't seem to mind though, and takes looking after her mother in her stride. However, this means that the normal parent-child dynamic is completely flipped, as Lisa has become so overweight that she can no longer look after herself, let alone all of her children. What's also quite unsettling is how her grandson, Eric, is also in charge of helping to look after Lisa. Because of her size, Lisa can't fit in the shower anymore, so she has to be washed by hand in bed, which means that Eric has to help flip Lisa, as Danielle can't manage on her own.
We all have to help her. 2, 3. Oh, God help me. You got it? I got it. Oh!
It's honestly an extremely disturbing image and quite annoying, as Lisa is completely naked in front of her young grandchild. No child should have to help wash a parent this way, especially one as young as Eric, which has led some viewers of the show even claim that this is child abuse. It's extremely sad that the grandson has to be subjected to this. This is just generational trauma developing before our eyes. This is completely inappropriate and honestly just very uncomfortable to watch and even talk about. You watching this will probably feel bad for Eric for having to do this, as well as feeling annoyed for Lisa to allowing this to happen. The thing is, it was completely unavoidable. It's not like Lisa had a terrible accident or has a debilitating health condition, she just has a food addiction and just literally can't stop eating. If Lisa put Eric and the rest of her family before herself, she wouldn't be in this position, and Eric would just be a normal teenage boy. But instead, he has to worry about looking after his grandmother, rather than doing normal things a child should do. As well as Eric, Danielle spends most of her time caring for Lisa, which also means she has to take care of Lisa's obesity-related health problems, and I doubt you've seen anything as disgusting as this.
A month ago, I started feeling sick and my leg was really bothering me. I kept saying, my leg is hurting bad. And when Danielle pulled open the folds of my skin, she found little maggots on there. So now she has to check my leg every day, and I can't believe it got so bad.
Maggots, literal maggots eating away at her flesh. That is just completely insane. How did she not really notice this, and how long have they been there? There are really way more questions than answers with this case. And the fact that Danielle had to clean them out, I can't even imagine the smell, and I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy. But with Lisa, it's about to get way more disgusting. But before we learn more about that, we need to start at the beginning with how has Lisa got to this size and where did it start? The only girl out of 5 brothers, Lisa grew up very spoiled and got pretty much whatever she wanted. It wasn't always good though, as Lisa had a pretty difficult relationship with her mother, and the only way she showed affection to Lisa was through food. She would make Lisa whatever she wanted and always massive portions. But food was also used as a form of punishment, as one time Lisa ate icing off a cake when she wasn't supposed to, her mother forced her to eat the entire cake by herself. This is a crazy way of disciplining a child, and definitely one that borderlines on abuse. After her parents divorced when Lisa was just 9 years old, this is when the weight really began to spiral out of control, as she turned to food for comfort. By the time Lisa was just 11 years old, she weighed 110 pounds, well above the average for a child of that age. As Lisa was larger than most of her peers, she did start to get bullied and called names, which was even by her own mother.
Family started calling me names too. My mom had a lot of names for me. I was little fat girl, mama fat baby. My brothers called me fat ass.
It bothered Lisa a great deal, but not enough to stop her eating, and her life took a dramatic turn when she fell pregnant at just 14 years old, which is still a child. Becoming pregnant and having a baby is stressful and life-changing for any woman, but especially for a 14-year-old with family troubles and a bad eating habit. Lisa turned to food even more to cope, eventually reaching 220 pounds by the time she'd started high school. Falling in love with one of her brother's friends, she developed a relationship with him, going on to have a second child aged 17 and a third child at 19. Having 3 children before Lisa was even 20 sounds incredibly stressful, and it's clear that Lisa didn't really know how to handle it properly.
I just didn't want that, and I just wanted to have fun. But I was a parent too, and I worked in fast food, so I was eating fast food every day.
Unfortunately, she chose food over her children, putting her own addiction before them, even going on to have another child a year later while still struggling. With 4 children by the time she was 21 and a weight of 330 pounds, it wasn't looking good for Lisa, as she was seriously struggling to cope. And unfortunately, things just got worse when Lisa's dad passed away and her brother was killed, so she turned to alcohol as well as food to cope. Trying to get out of the situation, she moved to Mississippi to start a new life, but this only turned out to be a bad decision as she met a new partner who was also abusive, and she gained even more weight for that, putting her at 425 pounds. Her spiral continued as the death of her mother was her final straw, and she just couldn't take it anymore. She practically gave up completely, eating more than she ever had before, finally hitting 500 pounds. This meant that she was so large that her life just totally slipped away from her. She stopped being able to make it to the bathroom, which just meant that she'd soil herself before she'd even managed to get up. This is the point that we find her at the show, over 10 years later, and she still hasn't got up from her bed. At this point, Lisa has become incredibly demanding, constantly ordering Danielle around to serve her.
Major role in my life. If I'm mad, if I'm depressed, if I get agitated, I want to eat. Danielle.
Ma'am?
Did you put cheese in my rice?
Yes, I will.
Don't forget my pepper.
I got it.
You might be asking, why does Danielle just not give her the food, since Lisa is too overweight to get it herself? But it's not that simple according to Danielle.
If I don't bring her what she asks for or something similar, she'll just order it herself or call someone else.
Mama, you ready to eat?
Yes.
And if my mom doesn't get her way, everybody has to pay. She will fuss, she will curse, she probably would put us out.
This is an all too common problem for stars on the show, because once they get too big to the point that they can no longer get up and are essentially bedbound, someone else has to bring them the food. Many viewers claim that if they were in Danielle's position, they would simply stop bringing her food and feed them low-calorie meals instead. But based on what Danielle describes, this doesn't seem to be an option for her. She couldn't put up with her mother demanding like this, and to be honest, I'm not sure I would either. Despite all of this, Lisa is still determined to lose weight, as she wants to be there for her children. Initially getting in touch with Dr. Now, he determines that because of her age and weight, it's too unsafe for her to travel to Houston. So they have a video call to discuss the situation instead.
Okay, if you lose, the less likely it would be that you will develop any life-threatening issues during travel.
Okay.
So I'm going to send you your new diet to start on immediately.
How much fruit a day can she have?
No, this diet has no carbs and no sugar.
Okay.
I'm also going to send you some exercises I want you to do in your bed, because we need to start you to get active.
Okay.
Lisa's attitude is absolutely shocking, as she's obviously not taking any of what Dr. Now has to say seriously. She scoffs at Dr. Now's professional advice, offering up sarcastic responses instead of taking the advice. Now, look, in my opinion, after watching all of these episodes, I think Lisa is too far gone, as she doesn't seem to be motivated at all, and she doesn't even seem thankful for Dr. Now's advice. Even when he says that he thinks Lisa is well over 700 pounds, she doesn't even seem to really care. Honestly, it just seems like a massive joke for her, and she clearly doesn't even want to begin thinking about putting the work in. As Lisa is bedbound, Dr. Now understands that Danielle is the only person who can really make a change for Lisa, as she is the one who brings her food, and we find out just how difficult this will be for poor Danielle.
So when I'm supposed to start this diet?
Tonight.
Go away. Let me have my Coke. Bye. Open it.
The doctor said you can't have carbonated drink.
Hey, you said my diet start tonight. I want to finish drinking my drink.
Well, it starts now.
It's not even the first minute of her diet, let alone the first day or even week, and Lisa is already aggressive about wanting her full fat Coke. It's not looking good for Danielle, and I don't even know how she's going to cope with Lisa. In an even more difficult situation, in something that I've actually never seen before in a My 600 Pound Life episode, is the effort it takes to get Lisa out of her house and into the ambulance to be transported to Houston. While eating a giant bowl of sugary cereal, paramedics and firefighters work on a plan to remove Lisa out of the house, which includes literally reinforcing their ramp with steel beams, as she would actually crush it without the additional support. Most people's worst nightmare would probably be breaking a chair in front of a group of people from being so overweight, or maybe having to ask for a seatbelt extender on an airplane. But to need a ramp reinforced with steel beams just so you can leave, that is utterly ridiculous. And it really doesn't get more embarrassing than that. The worst part is, Lisa doesn't even seem to appreciate their hard work, especially when they start the real heavy lifting, which was getting her out of the bed.
Ready?
No, I'm not ready, but come on. I ain't gonna never be ready.
1, 2, 3. There you go. That wasn't bad, was it?
Oh, Lord, please don't let them kill me.
Hold a hand.
Hit me, Daddy. Hit me. Ah!
There we go.
And I'm coming off the bed.
Okay.
Woo!
There you go. All right.
I told you my foolishness works sometimes.
Yeah, that's right.
And
1, 2, 3. Little bit. All right. Right there.
3.
up in my rides. Lord, these people, I think driving license at TGNY.
I'm ready to get my mom out of this house and to Houston.
Lisa's reaction to this situation is honestly just weird. She thinks it's hilarious, squealing like a child, like it's some big joke. The 6-hour journey to Houston is rough, with Lisa complaining the entire time, which is just like you'd expect. But this is the best thing for Lisa, as being away from her family, the people who are feeding her, is her only chance to make a drastic change and lose the weight on her new diet. This is even more crucial once Lisa is weighed, finding out that her own estimations were well off, as she weighs 704 pounds when arriving at the hospital. Clearly, Lisa didn't stick to her diet at home that Dr. Now gave her. So what are the chances that she'll stick to it now? In the hospital, we really start to see Lisa's rude tendencies come out, as she complains about every single thing. Even her meals, which she says are terrible, but to be honest, look pretty good, especially for hospital food, which is barely just edible. But after 2 months of this, Lisa is finally able to leave the hospital and continue her treatment in an apartment in Houston. Dr. Now gives Lisa clear instructions to lose 30 pounds in the next month. And to be honest, this is quite a lenient goal for her size, as usually Dr. Now suggests 50 to 80 pounds to his other patients. Unfortunately for Lisa, Danielle can't stay with her in Houston, as she has twin daughters to look after and a job to get back to. Instead, Lisa's boyfriend Herbert is going to look after her, but this immediately causes Danielle to worry, as she doesn't think that he will be able to stand up to Lisa and stop her going back to her old ways, and we see this right away.
He's not as tough on me as Danielle is about this diet, and that's nice. And now that Herbert's here to shop for me, I can have a little more say in what I get to eat. So at least I can get back to eating foods that taste good.
Now, was that a joke? Lisa is excited that Danielle has left so she can go back to eating what she was before. This doesn't even make sense, as she's supposed to be on a weight loss journey, but is looking forward to manipulating Herbert into eating whatever she wants and practically stop doing the weight loss program. We see the same when Dr. Now's dietitian comes round for a visit too.
Dr. Now sent over a dietitian, but I don't think I need to change my diet that much. So I'll hear her out, but that's about it.
Lisa doesn't think that she needs to change her diet when she's literally bedbound due to her morbid obesity. Now, let that one sink in. I said earlier that Lisa's behaviour was shocking, as she was clearly not interested in losing any weight at all, and this just confirms it. The dietitian is completely ruthless too, tearing through Lisa's fridge and throwing everything out that is unhealthy. When Lisa tries to deny that any of the junk food is hers, the dietitian doesn't believe a word she says, which is just like us. But this is when it starts to get really, really weird, when she asks Lisa who's eating the ice creams.
Who is eating the ice cream?
Those are Herbert's prizes when he do things that I like for him to do. I'm trying to find a word.
So these are rewards for love? Is that what you mean?
Not love.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't take them, because if you do, I can't get what I want.
Well, we're gonna have to find another way to get what you want.
Come on now, you got to give in on something. Look.
I'm perfectly happy with you having a very happy sex life.
But
no bad foods with that.
Put it back.
Lisa is used to having everything she wants and hates being told no. But back at the hospital for another weigh-in, Lisa is about to hear more bad news, especially when she tries to get some sympathy from Dr. Now.
So, how you been at home?
Feel good. Some days I feel like crap. But these last few days I've been feeling bad.
What's been making you feel bad?
Some things when it's time to eat, I can't eat.
You not being hungry doesn't sound like a problem at all. And if that is the case, you should have had no problem getting down to your goal of 587 this past month.
I know.
So let's see where your weight is at.
It's true though. I don't see why Lisa would see her lack of appetite as a concern when she's been eating enough to last her a lifetime. And she's obviously lying too, as she's gained 29 pounds since leaving the hospital. The exact opposite of what Dr. Now asked her to do. Not only has she not lost any weight, but her infection has gotten way worse, which means that she hasn't even been bathing properly. To get to the bottom of what she's been eating, Dr. Now asks Lisa's boyfriend for the truth about what she's been eating daily.
Why aren't you doing anything you're supposed to be doing?
I'm trying. It's just a slow process with me.
Okay, this is going nowhere. Herbert, how's she getting to weight? What has she been eating?
Well, it'd be like green beans, raw chicken and stuff like that.
So you're just eating healthy, somehow you gain weight?
I think what I need to do is try to eat 3 meals a day because really I'm not eating 3 meals a day.
So you're not telling me the truth. Seems like you're content being in bed and people taking care of you.
Lisa's situation is quickly going from bad to worse. Her infection is so severe that it could actually kill her, and she needs to make some serious changes, otherwise her life will be at an even higher risk than it already is. She's immediately admitted to hospital because she's so ill. In an emotional moment between Lisa and her boyfriend, he tries to motivate her to finally make a real change for the better.
Because I don't want to lose, I love you. I want you to be able to walk. I want you to be able to walk and hold the grandkids, Would you like that?
I know. I
will. It's getting time to put that ring on your finger, I'll just be my wife. But I want you to walk down that aisle, though. All we have to do is just keep praying and just believe that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I know, baby. It's going to happen. Only thing we have to do now is start doing like the doctor said, We're going to lose together, Would you like that?
Can you imagine a more unromantic proposal? Literally asking for Lisa's hand next to her hospital bed after she's just been told off for Dr. Now for not sticking to her diet plan and losing the weight. It's also strangely common the amount of proposals that take place on the show. In almost every episode, it seems like a new relationship starts during the show's filming, or the star gets engaged. Lacey Buckingham from one of my previous videos got engaged too, after just several weeks of dating. It's almost as though the partners of the stars use the proposal and the idea of getting married as motivation for the weight loss, rather than the act of love itself. It really makes you wonder if they even love them at all, or if they're just desperate for change. While checked into the hospital, Dr. Now places Lisa back on a strict calorie deficit and instructs her to lose 50 pounds over the next month. This is a huge goal for Lisa, as previously she was given the same weight loss goal, but 2 months to complete it instead. This shows just how serious things are getting for Lisa, as she's simply running out of time to shift the weight. During her stay at the hospital, the weight loss should have been easier for Lisa, as a calorie counted food is made at the hospital and brought to her, but there's one small problem, which is Herbert. He's been sneaking in food for Lisa and making her miss out on her weight loss goal, and it's very embarrassing how Dr. Now finds out.
All right. Now who's eating that?
No, I've been eating
He was eating them because
how did they end up in your bed then?
He was laying right there because I was crying
I was just
this morning.
Lisa, this is the junk you've been eating. This is why you're not losing any weight. Her sneaking in junk food for you, and you two keep lying about it.
No.
How can we get through to you both that your time is up? You're going to die very soon. But both of you don't seem to get that, no matter what we do or say.
The fact that Lisa's life literally depends on her losing weight, and she's still sneaking snacks into the hospital, is absolutely shocking. This is typical of Lisa too, to always play the victim and blame everyone else for being too hard on her or not giving her enough time, instead of just taking responsibility for her actions. If Lisa can't lose the weight while she's in a controlled environment of the hospital, how on earth is she going to lose any weight when she goes back home? After Dr. Now's outburst, Lisa seems to lose hope when she leaves the hospital and returns to her apartment.
Ever since Dr. Now got mad at me, I have no motivation to be strict with my diet and exercise. Herbert tries to steer me in the right direction, but I know exactly how to get what I want from him.
Her manipulative tactics have no end, and she will do just about anything to get what she wants. She believes that cheating keeps them both sane, and that they couldn't survive just eating healthy food all the time. Dr. Now thinks that the only way he will be able to get through to Lisa is through therapy, so he sends a professional to Lisa's apartment to see if she can get through to Lisa. It's a final attempt to see if she will change her life around, and if she doesn't make a change, she'll be kicked out of the program for good. This would basically be a death sentence for Lisa, as her health issues are so severe, Dr. Now only gave her a few months to live. The therapist forced Lisa to take responsibility for her actions, as she is specifically concerned with Lisa's attitude in saying that she's doing everything she possibly can to lose weight, but still isn't losing enough at the rate she's expected to. The therapist highlights this for Lisa, saying that she simply is lying and isn't doing everything she can, unlike what Lisa believes. In order to start losing weight properly, Lisa needs to make a change, because what she's tried already clearly isn't working. Just when things start to get better for Lisa, they take a turn for the worse when she goes to the ER experiencing severe leg pain. Lisa is clearly in a massive amount of pain, in tears and screaming, while Dr. Now rushes to try and find the problem.
Hi, what's going on with this?
My leg hurts so bad.
Which one? Right leg?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna get you situated real quick, okay? So we'll put her in bariatric bed.
Bariatric bed?
Yeah.
Instead of being grateful for Dr. Now's help, Lisa is completely erratic, screaming at everyone in a total breakdown.
I'd rather you just send me back to my house and leave me alone because this is not helping me. I can't control myself. I don't know what to do anymore.
Stop talking like
And I feel like nobody else cares about me. Who cares about I just want to go home. I'm not.
you come a long way for this. I ain't no.
This is useless. This is useless to me.
Come here now.
I need help. Food has always been a problem. It's gonna always be my problem.
Lisa has a complete breakdown in the office, screaming and crying while the hospital staff pile in through the door. In an attempt to de-escalate the situation, Dr. Now moves Lisa to a private room to examine her leg once she's calmed down. An argument ensues between the two, culminating in Lisa saying she's been unsuccessful in the program because she has poor mental health. Dr. Now, however, believes this is just another excuse from Lisa, and that she is trying to manipulate him, so he sends in the hospital therapist. The hospital completes a complete psychiatric evaluation on Lisa, and they determine that she is actually not depressed, but rather trying to manipulate the doctors into feeling sorry for her. It's difficult to understand the lengths that Lisa will go to avoid losing the weight, when it's quite literally the only solution to her physical and mental health issues. Following the results, Dr. Now decides that he's had enough of her, and removes her from the weight loss program entirely. If she wants to try again, she must lose 50 pounds on her own to even qualify for another appointment. The final tone of the outro is really pessimistic, as Lisa pretty much gives up entirely. She agrees to continue working on it, but she hasn't even really tried, so there's nothing to really continue anyway. Unfortunately, Lisa really did give up, as she died less than 6 months after the show was aired in 2018. The cause of her death is unknown, but we can only predict that it was due to her serious weight-related concerns. Lisa had every opportunity to turn her life around and was given so many second chances, but unfortunately, this just wasn't enough to help her. From having to get hosed down on her porch to stay clean, to being physically unable to enter her own bathroom to save her child from potentially drowning, Nicole is the epitome of lazy and one of the worst parents ever on My 600 Pound Life. Weighing in at 684 pounds at just 24 years old, Nicole is both one of the youngest stars ever on the show and one of the heaviest too. It's not surprising to understand how Nicole got to this size when she reveals her everyday eating habits either.
But as soon as I get up in the morning, I gotta eat something or I feel like I'm gonna throw up. So I keep something to snack on in my room, but I still can't get up to get it myself.
Nicole's desperate need to have food close to her is a common theme on the show, as often stars keep snacks hoarded in their bedroom so they can easily reach for it. This is a dangerous habit to fall into though, and it just encourages people to become immobile, as they don't even have to move to satisfy the cravings. But despite Nicole keeping food right next to her, she isn't able to get to it, due to a combination of her size and just her general laziness. So she commands her husband Charlie to do it for her instead.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Can you please come here? Can you please get me those potato chips?
I'm gonna go gather it, all your bath stuff.
Thank you.
Now you might have noticed her disgusting tone towards Charlie there. Nicole has a permanent scowl on her face, constantly in a bad mood and making life for everyone around her a living hell. Her attitude towards her husband is disgusting, and it just gets worse when we see how she interacts with the rest of her family. As Nicole is so overweight and we know her mobility is severely limited, she needs constant help taking care of her 2 children. In an effort to take away some of this stress for her, Nicole's parents moved into their tiny home to help raise the children. As the grandparents get the children ready for the day, it's Charlie's responsibility to get Nicole ready, and you won't believe what this entails. As Nicole can no longer fit into the bathroom, which should be a wake-up call in itself that you can't literally get through the door frame, Charlie has to bathe her on the back porch with a hose pipe.
I can't fit through the bathroom door anymore, so they have to take everything outside on the back porch, and I bathe there. My dad hooks up a garden hose to the hot water, the washer, and runs it outside because I have to be cleaned outside like an animal. Charlie! What are you doing? Please help me.
What do you need?
Help me get my pants out. Sit down. It's very embarrassing. Who sits butt naked in a wheelchair on their back porch to get a shower? You bathe your dog in your backyard. You don't bathe your girlfriend.
Having to bathe completely naked outside is just incredibly humiliating for Nicole, and despite her size and attitude, no one should really have to go through it. People with specific needs like this should be able to have the care they need to ensure they're properly dignified and feel safe. Watching this, it's actually pretty sad knowing that anyone could just walk by and see Nicole naked and vulnerable. But at the same time, Nicole is completely in control of what she's eating, and it's entirely possible for her to not have to live like this anymore. Every morning when she steps onto the porch, she's making a conscious choice to eat the same amount of food every single day that got her to where she is now.
Even though Charlie's very devoted to me, I feel very humiliated. I know Charlie says he doesn't mind, but it's not right that he has to do this for me.
The effect that this has on Charlie is actually awful too, as he has to wash Nicole's genital areas, which he says can be pretty disgusting, and I think we'll just take his word for it. It's a nightmare situation for them both, as Charlie really shouldn't have to do this for his girlfriend, and Nicole's situation is pretty awful. Now, in scenes that I just can't show on YouTube, Charlie also has to apply talcum powder to the majority of Nicole's skin folds to prevent the area from becoming moist and infected. The extent of her weight is really evident here too, as Nicole is in constant pain due to the strain of the excess fat pulling down on her. In situations like these, there's always the same question: how did they end up like it? And for Nicole, the question is no different here. She has struggled with her weight for as long as she can remember. Even being a toddler, food was the only thing that made her happy. Her relationship with her mother was strenuous, as Nicole claims that her mother would always lash out at her for reasons she didn't understand. And when you watch the rest of her episode, it becomes clear that she has inherited this short temper. When the blowouts would occur, Nicole would run to her dad, where he could always make her feel better by giving her snacks. But Nicole's dad was a truck driver, which meant he worked away a lot. So when these arguments with her mother would happen, Nicole would run to food instead. Eating large quantities of food very often, Nicole just kept gaining and gaining weight, eventually making it to over 200 pounds by the time she was just 14 years old. And unfortunately for Nicole, things spiraled out of control when her father started using cocaine while on the road while working, eventually bringing it home to her mother, where they both ended up getting addicted. During the course of her parents' addiction, times were very tough, which you can understand. Nicole's mother would stay awake for days, high on drugs, and when they would run out, they would both turn violent. The situation stayed the same for years too, with constant arguing between the family, and Nicole being neglected because her parents were just always high. For Nicole, food really was just an escape for her, as eating was the only thing that made her feel safe and secure. Unfortunately, things don't get any better for Nicole as time went on, and in fact, they actually got worse. Nicole's dad was finally arrested, but as her mother didn't have a job, the two just became homeless, relying on soup kitchens and shelter to look after them. Nicole didn't know where her next meal was coming from, so she just ate as much as she could in one sitting. This cycle continued again, and by the time her father was released from prison, Nicole had gained another 100 pounds. Despite being arrested and making his family homeless, Nicole's dad just got back straight into drugs as soon as he was released from prison. Nicole's only option to get away from the abuse was to move out, which she did and really enjoyed, until she fell pregnant and became extremely ill. Her baby's father fled the scene, leaving Nicole alone and scared. But during this time when she was pregnant, she met Charlie, who completely fell in love with her and started to take care of her. When her health deteriorated and she was bedbound in hospital, her eating habits spiraled even more, and she gained 120 pounds throughout her pregnancy.
And Jaden actually came out not breathing. His body had a very bad diabetic attack because he wasn't receiving sugar from my body anymore. And that was because of me. I was over 600 pounds then, and it almost killed my newborn child. And after I had Jaden, I couldn't get up and do much anymore, so Charlie kept taking care of me. And when I was 22, I found I was pregnant with my second child. I gave birth to Shelby. I'd put on so much weight, I either had to stay in bed all day or use a wheelchair to get around.
It seems like Nicole's pregnancies were the last catalyst for her weight, bringing her up to over 600 pounds. as her health implications meant she couldn't exercise like the average person should, and she turned to food even more. The most tragic part of her story is that she says addiction destroyed her childhood, but she has replaced her parents' addiction to drugs with food, and her children are now suffering because of it. Her parents don't look after the children just because she needs a little help, it's because Child Protective Services would literally remove her children because Nicole is so unfit to take care of them. There's no doubt her parents love their grandchildren, but they are old now and have to spend their retirement running around looking after young children. It's simply not fair that Nicole places this burden on them, while she is relieved of any responsibility at all, just because of her size.
But now I'm 23 years old, and I can barely walk for more than a minute, and I can't take care of myself or my kids on my own. But I hate having to rely on my parents.
Jaden's in the bathroom. They're getting out there, hon.
And my mom doesn't want to have to take care of them all the time either. She only does it so I don't lose them, but it frustrates her.
It seems Nicole's mother's temper hasn't changed at all since she was young too. She still has a lot of anger. Nicole seems to have inherited this temper too, and maybe even more, as she has one of the biggest blowouts ever on the show that is simply hard to watch. In one of the most famous scenes ever on the show, which you may have seen in my Worst Parents on My £16 Life video, the extent of Nicole's selfishness is revealed, where she can't even fit through the bathroom door to save her infant son from the bath.
Jaden, Jade, come here. Come here. Jaden, please, can you shut the water off and come with mommy? Jaden, please come on. I can't fit in the bathroom door. I can't fit in the bathroom door, Mom.
All right, I'll get him.
I can't take care of my kids, but there's nothing I could do about it right now. You know, I'm just scared he's gonna get a hold of that handle and get on the hot side and hurt himself.
Nicole is literally helpless in looking after her son properly, and quite frankly, she doesn't really seem too bothered, given that she literally said, "I can't take care of my kids, but there's nothing I can do about it now." What kind of mother would say such a thing about their own children? To be honest, Nicole is outright lying too. This is quite literally something she can do to fix the situation, which is obviously to lose weight. One Redditor commented on the situation and said, "Honestly, these people shouldn't have kids. They can't even take care of themselves," which, to be honest, is entirely true. Nicole was already severely overweight when she had her first child, so there's no way she should have been able to have more when she was already incapable of looking after the first. Plus, the fact Nicole was worried about Jaden touching the hot water was bad enough, but the fact he was alone in the bath at just 2 years old is absolutely shocking. Literally anything could have happened to him and she wouldn't have been able to do anything. More than this, Nicole's mother is absolutely sick of the stress of looking after toddlers, often taking this out on both Nicole and the kids.
If I wasn't here, Lord only knows what would happen.
And my mom gets upset because I'm so big, I can't do anything.
What are you doing, Jaden? I'm just sick of this. I need help with these damn kids.
She gets upset like she did when I was a child, and she takes it out on me and my kids.
Obviously, the children are innocent in all of this and shouldn't be a victim to this abuse. It's clear Nicole and her mother share a pattern of verbal abuse, which her mother clearly hasn't given up.
Sometimes she'll call me a fat ass, or just some really vulgar things when she's upset or frustrated.
To make matters worse, Nicole isn't recognized as a mother to her children at all, which isn't surprising considering her parents do all of their care.
And it hurts me that my kids think their grandmother is their mom, and that I'm not even a parent. One time I said to my son, "Do you love mama?" And he looked over at my mom and smiled. And it made me feel like he was calling her mom. And that's very hurtful.
Nicole's life is in complete disarray if you haven't figured that out already. Her parents are struggling to cope with looking after the children, Charlie can't deal with taking care of her, and more than anything, Nicole's life is at risk because she can't stop eating. Daily life is a struggle for Nicole, but there's one thing that always cheers her up: going food shopping. She can't walk far because of the weight, but is too big for the shop's electric wheelchairs, so instead she has to be pushed in her own wheelchair while also pushing a cart at the same time. Honestly, this results in some quite embarrassing, but honestly pretty funny scenes.
But it is embarrassing when there's moments where I can't pass something because I'm so big. When that happens, I feel so anxious because I know people are staring. Just a little bit. Charlie, now you gotta fix every bag.
Let's get you two here and I'll do that.
You're gonna have to.
There.
No, please. That's embarrassing. But when that happens, I start to feel like I'm gonna panic. And all I want is food.
Are you ready?
That was very intense. But I know the sooner I get the shopping done, the sooner I can eat.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Can I get 2 of those? Here. Candy. My love. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You know, the favorite part of the entire trip is getting what I want. That's my favorite part. Charlie loves food too.
It's during Nicole's visit to the shop we see how deep her food addiction runs, as she is chronically obsessed with it, excited about every single element of food. She's desperate to go to the store, to eat the food as soon as she's home, and then when she's run out, she's desperate to go back out to the store. It's a difficult cycle to be stuck in, as there's simply no way to escape for her.
Nicole's behavior with food is not normal. If she is hungry, she wants food, she wants it now. But when I give her large portions, I know it's hurting her. I know it's damaging her body. But I see that she's happy, and I would do anything to make Nicole happy. But who knows how much bigger she can get before it's too much.
The large portions Charlie is serving Nicole too are 2 to 3 times bigger than the average amount someone of a healthy size should be eating, not to mention the high calorie count. Nicole is literally eating herself to death with meals like this, and is completely uneducated on how to create a healthy meal. She really needs to change her ways. She is just 25 and has 2 kids she can't even look after. She decides to make a big change and see Dr. Now, packing up and moving to Houston to start her treatment. But with a family like Nicole's, things don't go as smoothly as hoped. While transporting the contents of their home into the back of a truck, Nicole's dad completely loses his patience with Jaden and Nicole.
Watch out, G. If y'all can't help move, could you please at least watch the kids?
The stress seems to really get to Nicole too, which results in the following scene.
I got my kids and myself, and that's all I even care about.
Oh, what am I, chopped liver?
You can go about your own way. This is for me. This is a new beginning for me, and I don't care what's left behind. You are either with me or you without me. I am going to Texas, and I'm going to see Dr. Now, and I'm going to comply with what he says, and I'm going to get this weight loss surgery, and I'm going to be one of the most successful patients he's had.
This weird monologue is a stark difference to her previous attitude, and I think it's obvious by her tone that she isn't really going to make much of an effort at all, and is just expecting everyone to do it for her, which is just like a normal life. She's so insistent that if her family aren't behind her, she will leave them in the dust, and is completely forgetting that she literally can't do anything without them. How does she think she will have to go to the toilet or have a shower without Charlie? Who will look after the children if not for her parents? Anyway, Nicole's inspiring speech goes down the drain the next day when she gets 2, not 1, 2 fast food meals while on the road to Houston.
When I get stressed like this and I want to eat, I start to think about all the things I'm craving, and one place ain't gonna have everything I want. I just want the oven roasted chicken on that one kind of bread, Italian herb and cheese, foot long. I can't help but give in to my cravings and eat everything. There's nothing like unwrapping a burger and you get that hot wrapper cheese. Burger's just fresh and just so irresistible.
The long car journey to Houston, over 10 hours, is irritating everyone, so they decided to stay the night in a motel. In one of the most watched scenes of the show, Nicole has a complete meltdown over her bed, and you simply won't believe how crazy it gets.
Please tell me. Please. Please, the whole bed moves. The whole bed moved down.
Okay.
Please tell me.
1, 2, 3.
The whole bed slid out on me.
Okay, it's on wheels.
What the? I mean, why would they do that?
Try it.
No, just shut up, Mom. Charlie, I can't sleep on this bed.
You didn't want to pay the other price for the other room, so...
When they said it was upstairs. Idiot. I can't get on it, Charlie.
Why can't you? I'm holding the
bed. Just give me the chair over there. I can't do this.
You can try to do it again.
My back hurts now. I can't remember.
You know this is gonna be a 3-hour ordeal with every call.
Nicole is literally irate at this situation, and you can see the exact moment she flips and completely loses it.
Charlie, you know what? If you aren't gonna be supportive, you can f***ing leave.
Why I'm here?
It's stupid wood in here. It's stupid. Why would they put wood on a floor in a hotel?
To make it look nice?
No, every damn thing I say you contradict and talk, you little. I about hit the floor and I had to hold my body weight up because he wasn't in here and just lollygagged.
Lollygag, I was getting the bags and stuff.
I say you try it again, Nick. Even if
Okay, let's just try it again! You bunch of bastards!
Okay, that's fine. Just hang on, we gotta get mommy on the bed.
Her comments about the wood in the hotel clearly show she's lost the plot, and literally anything will upset her and nothing can be said to calm her down. Nicole expects everyone to bow down to her and do literally everything she wants, and if she can't have her own way, everyone else will have to suffer. It's also worth pointing out that during this entire ordeal, with Nicole kicking and screaming, her 2 children are just sat on the bed watching. To witness your mother going on like this at such a young age must be incredibly traumatic, and I'd hate to think the effects that this is having on them at the moment. They really do deserve better, and Nicole seriously needs to start thinking about how she's treating everyone. This entire issue is caused because the bed has wheels, and Nicole is so heavy that the bed moves every time she tries to get on, making it pretty much impossible for her to lie down. After her meltdown, Charlie ends up removing the frame of the bed so the mattress is resting against the floor itself. A simple solution which was blown totally out of proportion. If Nicole can't overcome a simple issue like this, how is she going to overcome the weight loss program with Dr. Now? Well, we're about to see exactly that, as Nicole arrives at the doctor's office, and the reality of her situation sharply sets in. Knowing that she likely won't live past 30, Dr. Now gives her a strict diet plan.
Cut all carbs out of your diet. Eat only 2 times a day. No snacking between the meals. So you read that every day and polish up your eating habit. And I want you to lose 30 pounds over the next month. Okay? Well, if you follow this, and we're going to see if we get you to the point that you're going to be appropriate for weight loss surgery. Okay.
Her situation is tricky, as she and her family haven't actually found a permanent place in Houston to live yet, so they've been staying in hotels and are running out of money. Eating food with just a microwave is hard, and to an extent I do agree that it's hard to eat healthy in a hotel, but it's not entirely impossible, as there's plenty of options of low-calorie microwave meals to buy. And if you don't know many low-calorie recipes you can eat at home, you can sign up to my newsletter, The Fat Loss Kitchen, for completely free to receive weekly low-calorie, high-protein meals every single Friday. We've had some great reviews so far, so make sure you don't miss out and visit the link in the description to sign up. So back at Dr. Now's office, Nicole is stressed about whether she will actually have lost any weight at all given her circumstances. With the goal of losing 50 pounds in mind, Nicole falls short once she steps on the scales, as she's only lost 11 pounds. A loss is still a win, so we can congratulate her for that, but she hasn't really lost anywhere near enough that she had to. When Dr. Now confronts her on why she hasn't lost enough weight, her excuse isn't very realistic.
And wants me to take care of everything instead of trying to help me find a place.
So your family is the problem again?
I'm eating the best I can with the hotel. I found like some pre-cooked like grilled chicken and things like that I can microwave, but my family is eating fast food, and it's such a struggle to fight cravings when everyone around you is eating things that you're used to.
All right, I see. Nicole is still not taking responsibility and blaming everybody around her. So that's the primary issue that we need to address right now. Nicole, I'm not approving you for weight loss surgery.
Back at the hotel, Nicole struggles to eat healthy meals because of not having a proper kitchen, so ends up ordering fast food yet again. She thinks that eating burgers and fries won't have much of an effect on her weight loss, but she's completely wrong. She even misses her next appointment with Dr. Now because she can't take the stress of the situation and just wants to dodge him really. At her following appointment, however, Nicole's recent weight loss is just 6 pounds, making her nowhere near the goal weight that Dr. Now gave her, and she's completely devastated, immediately breaking down into tears.
She missed her last appointment, and her progress is even worse. And on top of all that, she still has a bit of a delusional perspective on things. She is used to manipulating everybody around her to the point that she even believes her own excuses. So I don't think she's going to have any chance of success until we start to get her to wake up from her delusion. When life gets tough, you don't get a pass.
Dr. Now believes that Nicole is just like many of the other patients on the show, who blame everyone else for their misfortunes. Her situation isn't great, being realistic, as it can't be healthy to live in hotels with no proper space or even a kitchen. But it's not an excuse for Nicole, as she didn't have to come to Houston without organising a place to rent first. As Dr. Now thinks he might have hit a dead end with Nicole, he arranges for her to see a therapist to work through some of her mental blockers surrounding her addiction, which reveals how much she blames everyone for things that are entirely her fault.
But I don't get any emotional support. So my barriers are just the negativity and the anger that's in my home. People are always arguing. People are always yelling. It's very stressful, especially for Charlie and I.
Nicole constantly blames her family for not supporting her emotionally, which is just completely ridiculous, as they provide 24/7 care for her and her children, and have even moved to Houston with her for the program. She's completely selfish and unwilling to look at herself and take any responsibility for her actions. The therapist does seem to have helped Nicole, as she appears a little happier as the show goes on, especially as Charlie got a job and they were able to actually rent an apartment. And back at Dr. Now's office, Nicole feels a little more hopeful that she's lost at least some weight in the past few months, as her progress so far has been non-existent. Thankfully, she has shed a few pounds, as she made it down to 640 pounds, a 27 pound drop since her last visit, which is 44 pounds down overall.
Nicole is doing much better now than she did the first 3 months. She didn't hit the weight loss goal I gave her, but 3 pounds is close enough because she's starting to get on track like she needs to. And I feel like she started to take some responsibility for her choices. So here's the situation. Even though you didn't hit the 30-pound mark, you made good progress this month.
Even though Nicole didn't lose the full weight that Dr. Now had asked, he's still satisfied with her progress and has asked that she lose another 30 pounds in the next month to stay on the program. Just as things start to look better for Nicole though, her life takes a turn for the worse. Her family started subleasing the garage in their rental house to help cover bills, where the tenant allegedly started selling drugs, and as a result, their house gets raided by the police.
Well, no, I ain't something. Let them idiot out and I sell them dope and heroin, set them. The police just did all this, looking for drugs. Destroyed the rocks, totally destroyed. I guarantee you when the landlord comes by here, we're going to be homeless. We are done.
My dad's really angry because there was a drug raid in our back apartment that we rented out. Cops told me that they found narcotics and stuff like that in the back apartment. So tenants went to jail. The police have to search the entire premises, so they tore the rest of my house apart. Broke my front door off the hinges, flipped over couches, moved my stove and refrigerator out, and I just immediately got scared because Jaden was crying. Cop told me to put my hands up. The police literally made me lift my stomach to see if I had drugs under my stomach. I feel very violated.
I ain't been nothing like that for my life.
This is obviously extremely stressful for the entire family, especially the children, as they seem visibly traumatized by the event. The house is in a complete state too, with furniture in disarray and rubbish everywhere. The situation is so stressful that Nicole's dad even turns on the camera crew in frustration.
This is personal life matters. Got nothing to do with you losing weight. This show's about you, not what happens on our day-to-day personal life and our house getting destroyed by the Houston Police Department.
It's about my journey in my life and my everyday challenges.
That's right. Does this have anything to do with what you ate today?
It has a lot to do with it. It's something that I'm going through. It's part of my life.
Part of my life.
Will you just calm down?
No, I won't. It ain't cool, man.
I'm really upset right now.
I can see Nicole's dad's point of view here, as it's not nice having to share personal matters like this on camera for the world to see, and people like me to make videos on. To make matters worse, Nicole is making this about herself again, saying that this is her struggle rather than a stressful situation for the entire family. She doesn't help herself either when she doesn't have to play a part in helping tidy the house because of her size, instead getting to watch from the sofa and criticize. Since the raid, everyone has been very on edge, and Nicole feels like her family aren't supporting her. To try and change this, Nicole invites her family to sit down and have a chat about how she feels.
I know you do. I'm just trying my best to get this surgery so I can make everybody believe in me.
Well, I believe in you, Nikki. You're losing more weight now than you have your whole entire life.
Right.
You don't need to get this surgery for nobody other than yourself.
Right.
You need to do this for you and them 2 kids right there.
Yeah.
Them kids need a mother.
Yeah,
And I don't want to have to bury my kid.
I understand that. I'm just trying. But maybe sometimes you guys should try to just eat a healthy meal with me. Like maybe once a week, start trying to do it, you know?
Yeah.
1 meal once a week.
Right. I promise you guys, I'm not gonna bring you guys down here to watch me fail. I'm gonna succeed in what I need to do.
And you've succeeded thus far.
Just stick to it. You're on the right track, going the right way.
With you guys as my support, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I just appreciate everybody sitting around and talking to me and want me get some things off my chest and just listening to what I had to say.
You ought to talk more often.
The conversation goes pretty well, and the family agrees to help Nicole by eating 1 healthy meal a week in solidarity with her. I can't quite believe that they don't even eat 1 healthy meal a week already. It's pretty normal to have 1 unhealthy meal a week as a treat, but to not even make this part of their normal routine is worrying. It definitely seems like Nicole's family could use a hand with coming up with low-carb, high-protein meal ideas, which you can find yourself by subscribing to the Fat Loss Kitchen. 6 months into the program, Nicole is back at Dr. Now's office and back on the scales, reading 608 pounds, 31 pounds down since her last visit, and pretty close to what Dr. Now asked her to do. Pleased with her progress, Dr. Now approves Nicole for the weight loss surgery, under strict instruction that it won't be scheduled until she can walk for 10 minutes to reduce her risk of blood clots. 2 months later, Nicole is at the hospital undergoing her weight loss surgery, and Dr. Now decides to perform a gastric sleeve, which will significantly aid her weight loss as she won't feel as hungry and be able to eat as much food. The surgery goes very well and Nicole recovers at the hospital, eventually being allowed to return home. The next few months are very successful for Nicole as she gets her weight down to 548 pounds, a total weight loss of 137 since the show started. Nicole and Charlie are eventually able to go out and do things that normal couples could do, like going out for meals, drinks and fun activities. One night when they go out for drinks together, Charlie has a very important question to ask Nicole, and based on a very common trope throughout the show, I'm sure you can guess what it is.
Okay. What?
You marry me? Are you crying? Don't cry. So? So?
Yes.
That good? I want to do this journey with you forever. It's not your journey anymore, it's our journey.
Love you.
She said yes! That's what I wanted.
Full of motivation and a full year after filming began, Nicole is feeling a lot better about her life, especially as she's lost almost 50 pounds since having the weight loss surgery. With a focus now on her children, Nicole and Charlie make efforts to move out by themselves and look after both themselves and their children on their own. This weight loss surgery has been a total game changer for Nicole, as she has really turned her life around. Since the show, the couple has kept a low profile, so it's difficult to see how they're faring after the show had ended, but I genuinely hope that Nicole has continued to lose weight and start finally giving her children the life that they deserve. After managing to lose her diet plan, not once, not twice, but 4 different times, Shauna's episode from My 600 Pound Life is not only one of the most infuriating ever aired, but honestly, one of the most hopeless. And with Shauna being just 22 years old, her immaturity is on show for the entire episode, alongside her massive food addiction.
I don't want to live this way because I hate this body.
It's just too big to be normal. And it keeps me from being able to do a lot. So I feel like I'm trapped most of the time because of how hard it is to move and get around.
It's hard to walk. It's hard to be able to stand for more than like 2 minutes at a time.
I think that time gets less as I get bigger and it hurts quicker. So I'm losing my ability to move and do things.
At her young age, her weight is already 4 times heavier than it should be at a healthy weight, and that is having a huge impact on her mobility. For now, Shauna can still go to the bathroom by herself and shower, but that's pretty much the extent of it.
But it's already almost too hard for me to do all the time. So sometimes I think about just not doing it. But then when you're big like me and have all these folds, you chafe a lot. And then you get blisters and sores and that can get infected easily. So I push myself to just do it and get it over with. But I still can't really do it well and get to all the areas where I had to be careful about with all the sores and stuff.
As Shauna still lives with her mother, who isn't home most of the time, she has to have a caretaker to do the chores around the house for her. Shauna's weight also affects her confidence a great deal, as she struggles to find anything positive about her life due to how difficult it is just to exist at her weight.
I hate how my life is, but I mostly just hate my body. I hate my body more than anything in the whole world. I feel like a monster just walking around. My legs and my feet disgust me the most about my body. They don't even seem human anymore. None of me does. So I don't even want to look at myself at all anymore. Because I'm embarrassed at what I've done to myself in my life. I'm 22 years old. I should be like in college, partying, having fun, living my life. But I can't.
Her food addiction has totally robbed her of her youth. She's so young, which makes her story more difficult to hear. To put it into perspective, it's been less than 5 years since she finished school, and she's only been allowed to drink for less than a year. But while she's young, it also brings attention to the sheer volume of food she's been eating during this time. For many other stars of the show, they didn't reach 600 pounds until they were in their 30s or 40s. But for Shauna to be in this situation at just 22 years old, it really demonstrates just how deep her addiction goes and how much food she's been eating. With reduced mobility, Shauna relies heavily on family friend Derrickis to bring her all the meals, although he is less than pleased at the portion sizes he has to make for her.
Usually I start eating when Derrickis comes over to check on me. He brings me something to eat or he'll make it for me.
How are you feeling today?
My back hurts. Same old, same old.
Did you eat?
No. Can you give me some burritos?
Okay.
And hash browns?
Okay. How many do you want?
4.
Okay.
4 burritos and
4 burritos and what?
6 hash browns.
But despite Derrickis' reservations about feeding Shauna, it's the same excuse we see time and time again.
Because she eats when the sun come up and eats when it goes down. She don't know when to stop. Sometimes I feel helpless, but I don't want to see her hurt, so I give her what she wants.
But for Shauna, food is the only thing she has to look forward to every day. Derrickis is more than aware of this too, and feels incredibly guilty for feeding Shauna, knowing what it's doing to her body.
Once I'm eating, everything becomes okay. And it's hard to even describe what it really does for me. Because it's like it takes me to this whole other place. Eating to me is my safe haven. It just makes me happy. No matter how sad I am, it makes me happy. And I don't have anything else in my life that makes me feel that way. I always do that when I have food. Like I'm in a trance sometimes. And I don't snap out of it until the food is gone. But then I just want more. So I can go back to that. Because it just makes it all better. I feel like no matter what I go through, food will always make you feel better. So how do you stop something that does that for you? You can't really. So after Derrickis feeds me, I find ways to keep eating.
And it's not even 10 AM when Derrickis leaves after making Shauna breakfast, and she's already on the phone ordering a pizza. Her addiction runs so deep that every second of her day is spent eating, or planning her next meal. But where did all this come from? Why is Shauna so deeply obsessed with food to the point that she's letting it destroy her life and kill her? Now, Shauna had a rough childhood to say the least, which is like a lot of other My 600 Pound Life stars. Her dad was emotionally and physically abusive to her, to the point where she can't remember a time he wasn't screaming or hitting her.
Relationship with Shauna's father was very traumatic for her as a child. He wasn't easy to get along with. And I should have walked away years before, but we stayed together for a while.
My mom never really knew how bad things were between me and my dad. She knew some of it, but most of what he did when we were alone. So I just kept it to myself, because I didn't want to make my dad angry. Instead, when my father did things that hurt me, I would turn to food. It was all I could really do and all I had power over. Eating made me feel like I was going to be okay, and that nothing was wrong.
To mask the pain, Shauna began eating whenever she was upset, which turned out to be most of the time. By the time she turned 8 years old, Shauna was 150 pounds.
The last straw was Shauna fell asleep in the backseat of the car, and he decided he was going to put a cigarette out in the gas tank. So we got into a fist fight out in the yard, and that was when I decided it was time to go. I mean, I could put up with all the junk he wanted me to put up with myself, but when it comes to Shauna, I wasn't gonna let him try to kill her.
Now, when her parents separated, Shauna thought she would finally have a normal life without her father around. But, surprisingly to her, her dad got custody of her over the summer breaks, so she ended up having to stay with him. The abuse would continue there, as Shauna would return to her mother covered in bruises, saying that she got them from just playing around because she didn't want her mother to worry. The only thing that helped Shauna was eating, so she continued her habit until she was well over 200 pounds by the time she was 10. As she gained and gained, Shauna started to get bullied by her classmates. This just made everything worse, as it gave Shauna another excuse to continue eating until she was over 400 pounds when she started high school.
But it was getting too hard for me to get around. And the kids making fun of me got so bad, I just couldn't take it anymore. I dropped out of high school when I was 16. But being out of school, I just got worse and so depressed that I had a mental breakdown. My mom had to take me to a mental hospital. When I was in the hospital, I had to tell the doctors why I was depressed. And I told my mom that about my dad and his abuse, and she kind of almost lost it.
I thought that once we left that he wasn't going to do it again because he would see that this is his only opportunity to visit with his daughter during the summers, so he wouldn't act that way. And apparently he continued, and she finally broke down and told me about it when she was 16.
Leaving the mental hospital, Shauna started seeing a counsellor who tried to help her food addiction. But as she had nothing else to help her and was too depressed to find something else to cope with, she continued eating until she was over 500 pounds. The combination of being a high school dropout and morbidly obese meant that Shauna's job opportunities weren't exactly great, so she spent all of her time at home, just eating. As Shauna's mother was constantly on her back about seeing a counsellor and starting to lose some weight, she decided to move out so she could do what she wanted when she wanted, which I'm sure you can guess was just eating. Shauna qualified for disability because of her weight and used that money to pay for rent and a car, but moving away from her mother was one of the worst decisions Shauna could ever have made.
When I was 20, I met someone online and told him he could move in with me. And that didn't go well. It was okay at first, and then I found out he was a dopehead. He was addicted to meth, and that led to me getting addicted to meth too. And it just got worse because he started abusing me, physically and mentally.
And since she broke up with her abusive boyfriend, Shauna has been living at home, yet again doing nothing but eating.
My food addiction is killing me, and it's really scary because I'm afraid to go to sleep because of it. I just want to be a normal 22-year-old, and it sucks because I can't. It's a stupid body. And everything's getting harder and worse every day. So I can't keep living like this. Everything has to change. Everything. And I'm running out of time to do that. My mom keeps reminding me of that. And telling me I need to go to Houston to see Dr. Now. And try to get help. And I know she's right because I feel like it's taking time off. And if I think about it too much and what could happen soon, it terrifies me.
Now determined to help her in any way she can, Shauna's mother encouraged her to go to Houston to see Dr. Now, even offering to drive her the long 12-hour journey. As Shauna can't find a normal car, her mother has to rent a van that's big enough for her, and luckily, she just about fits. Now they've not even been in the car for 5 minutes, and Shauna is already breaking open her road trip snacks. And her attitude about how the next 12 hours are going to go aren't exactly positive.
As long as I have food, I think I can make this trip. But I just hope the fast food places aren't too far apart on the road. Because that's the only thing that's going to make this drive too much for me. But as long as I have some good food like this, I'll be alright and I know I can make it.
The fact that she's relying on snacks and fast food stops to get through the journey is pretty ironic, considering she's literally on the way to go to her first weight loss appointment. Shauna already has the paper packaging from what looks like 2 of the fast food chains before she's already stopping for another.
And once I eat and rest tonight, I think I'll be ready to do this again tomorrow. But I know tomorrow we have to start really early, and we have to go even longer than today. I'll be able to handle it as long as we have places to stop to get something.
I cannot wait to get into the room. I am so wiped out.
Seriously, I'm dying.
Now one thing I did notice is that, likely because she's so big, Shauna doesn't wear shoes or even socks, just walking around barefoot. After their overnight pit stop, the mother and daughter duo are back on the road to make the last 6 hours to Houston. And as you'd expect, Shauna is still eating a crazy amount.
We've been back on the road for about 5.5 hours. So we're close to Houston and Dr. Now. But this day of traveling has been a lot harder than yesterday. And I'm in more pain. But my mom's been helping me stay distracted by getting me some good stuff to eat most of the day.
The fact that Shauna's mother has been encouraging her to eat like this is insane, considering she is the one who is so concerned with her weight and is literally driving her to see Dr. Now. Now, her mother is clearly worried for her daughter's health, wanting to change her life before it's too late. But that makes you think, why is she enabling this behaviour? Now, finally arriving at her appointment with Dr. Now, Shauna steps on the scales for the first time in years to see how much he actually weighs after ignoring it for so long, and the scale reads a shocking figure at 659 pounds. And as you'd expect, Shauna is embarrassed and upset at the figure. For years, she's indulged in whatever she wanted, not caring about her own health. Seeing that number is definitely a reality check for both Shauna and her mother, and hopefully her appointment with Dr. Now will put her on the right path towards losing weight. But as we'll come to see, that won't be the case. During her appointment, we learn a little bit more about Shauna's eating habits once Dr. Now starts investigating the issues behind them.
All right, Shauna, looks like you're at 6:59 today, huh?
Yeah.
And you only 22, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Have you been heavy all your life?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you tried to lose weight at any point in your life?
Yeah. But I just don't stay on the diets usually, honestly.
Why?
Like, I eat too much or I eat too little.
I don't think eating too little is the problem. But when you overeat, do you do that because you're hungry or you're stressed or what?
Usually either hungry or I'm just bored or depressed or something.
Okay, so you use food to cope. So, Shauna, you need to learn how you're going to correct your eating habit, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
It's clear that food is a huge coping mechanism for Shauna, and it's going to be extremely difficult for her to break that habit when she finds her comfort in eating.
My concern about Shauna right now is that she doesn't seem very motivated to start turning her life around. And that makes me wonder if it's someone else pushing her to do this. Possibly her mother, because there seems to be a dynamic between them where Shauna is still dependent on her mother like a child is. And if that's the case, we're not going to be able to make much progress with her unless we change that. But hopefully she will show me that she's motivated and ready to do what she needs by hitting her weight loss goal by her next appointment.
Now, back in Kansas City, Shauna's weight loss journey has already gone downhill, and that's if he even thought it started in the first place.
Almost a month since I went to see Dr. Now. I've asked Derrickis to try and get me healthier meals and help me figure out a better diet. There's a lot of papers Dr. Now gave me with his diet and exercise on them. I'm not sure how, but I think they left him in a hotel on the way back home. And I've been scared to tell my mom or call Dr. Now and ask him for another one. But I'm hoping with how Derrickis is helping me that I'm losing as much as Dr. Now told me. And I'm also trying to do walking for exercises to build up my stamina. And I feel like that's all helping me a lot, because it's been hard.
The fact that she's lost the paperwork and is too scared to ask her mother or Dr. Now for another copy is just ridiculous. If she was really serious about losing weight, she wouldn't have lost them in the first place for one, and she definitely would call and ask them to send her another copy. Honestly, I think the issue here is that she's just too scared to read the diet plan in the first place because she doesn't want to start. Reading it would mean that she has to admit what she's been doing to her body all of these years and finally start to change. One Reddit commenter summed up this ridiculous excuse perfectly. Even the diet food that Derrickis is making her doesn't really look healthy. It's literally just sweet corn and potatoes. And it's crazy to think that Shauna thinks she will lose any weight without following the diet plan Dr. Now gave her. Now, if Derrickis had made meals from the Fat Loss Kitchen cookbook, which you can get below from fatlosskitchen.com, he would have a much easier time knowing what to eat without Dr. Now's diet plan, because our meals are nutritious, delicious, and actually fill you up. If you want to get your copy of the cookbook, go to fatlosskitchen.com and use code Craig to get 15% off. And if you don't want to pay, that's completely fine. Every Friday, we send out a free recipe as part of our weekly newsletter. So make sure you sign up for that too. Thank you, let's get back into the video. One important fact about Shauna's journey is that she can only do the weight loss surgery if she finds someone to move to Houston with, as she will need someone to look after her while she's recovering. The recovery from weight loss surgery is tough, and she will need quite a lot of rest. Most importantly, she'll need someone to make her meals for her, someone who Dr. Now can trust to make the meals actually healthy, otherwise the surgery could potentially fail. She asks Derrickis if he would consider moving in with her, and he's happy to go. However, he has to be paid by Shauna's mother for his time being her carer. The issue with Dr. Now's weight loss plan comes back into question too, as Derrickis doesn't understand why she doesn't just email Dr. Now and ask him to send it over.
I'm excited. But I wish I still had the papers he gave me that had all the diets and exercises on it.
So why haven't you called him and asked him, inform him on what happened?
Because I'm nervous and scared. He's gonna be like, this whole time you haven't had them? And I'm gonna be like, no. I mean, he's gonna be like, why? And I'm gonna be like, because I was so scared and nervous to call you. I thought you would just kick me out of the program altogether.
Or you could just tell him you forgot about him in a rental car.
And he's gonna be like, so it took you almost a whole month to realize that? I'm gonna be like, turtle mode activated. Like, I'm gonna be so scared.
Anyway you look at it, you're gonna have to call him.
I know.
Her excuse just doesn't make any sense to me. The sooner she calls and admits she's lost it, the better. I couldn't even imagine being in her position and having to wait to drive all the way back down to Houston and tell Dr. Now that she's made no progress.
Like, my life literally rests in this man's hands. I don't want to call Dr. Now. I just don't want him to be upset. What I want to do is keep doing the diet I am now and make it enough. So I'm trying the hardest I can, but it's just not easy.
The fact that Shauna thinks her life rests in Dr. Now's hands is half the problem. She thinks that it's up to him to fix her, which is why she hasn't reached out for another copy of the diet plan. Her belief that she can just lose weight without any sort of plan is insane too, and I'd love to see the plan she's following, if she's even got one.
It's been 2 months since my Dr. Now appointment, and I was supposed to be back for another one sometime last week, but I was too scared to go, because I never found the papers with his diet and stuff. So I've been just trying to figure it out without them.
Missing Dr. Now's appointment shows how just totally unbothered she is about her treatment after all. After Shauna's mother finds out she's missed her appointment, she forces her to call Dr. Now and admit that she lost the paperwork. 2 entire months of wasted progress, all because she was too scared to pick up the phone and call Dr. Now. Even if she was really scared, she could have asked someone else to do it for her, but the reality is, Shauna just doesn't care enough about it to even try.
Hi, can I please talk to Dr. Now's Arden?
Okay, ma'am, who's calling?
Shauna Collins.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, Dr. Now.
Hi, Shauna. You missed your appointment, so if you're calling, I'm guessing you're still in Kansas City right now, huh?
Yes, sir.
So what's going on? You doing your diet and everything you need?
I'm doing my diet, I think. But, when I was coming back home, I lost the, papers you gave me.
So you lost the paper and you didn't call us to get another copy?
I was scared you would get mad at me if I called back and said I lost them.
Why should we get mad at you because you lost something?
I don't know, I just thought you'd get mad.
It looks to me that Shauna is very childish and doesn't have the resilience to overcome her struggles. Yes, Dr. Now's frustrated that she's lost the paperwork, but he's more annoyed about the fact that she didn't say anything to him. But now that Dr. Now has emailed the files over to her, it won't be possible to lose them. Or will it? A month later, Shauna is back in Dr. Now's office for her next appointment. During this time, she should have lost 50 pounds if she'd followed her diet plan. And it seems like we spoke too soon about the papers, as surprise surprise, Shauna had lost them again. I don't even know how you'd lose an email because you can literally just search for it at the top. And yes, I know it's because she never even planned on looking at them in the first place. I wouldn't be surprised if she literally saw the email come in and just deleted it on purpose, just so she didn't have to look at it. Plus, the fact that she made Derrickis drive 12 hours for her appointment knowing full well she wouldn't have lost any weight is just beyond me.
The papers Dr. Now sent me with his diet and exercises were a lot harder than what I was doing. But I tried to do what they said. But after a few days, I lost them again. I tried to reprint them, but I couldn't find the email, and I don't know what happened.
A quick side note though, it's good to see that Shauna has finally found some shoes to wear. Now, ideally at this next appointment, Shauna should be below 600 pounds, but when the scales read 658 pounds, which is literally a 1 pound loss, it's clear that Shauna hasn't even tried to lose weight. I suppose it's a plus that she hasn't gained anything, but that shouldn't really be something to be proud of at this stage. The fact that Shauna doesn't understand why she hasn't lost any weight is also a joke. I can't believe she's being serious here, and when Dr. Now asks the same question as us, Shauna's response is actually infuriating.
I didn't read the booklet because I lost it again.
You telling me you lost it again?
Yes, yeah.
The second time?
Yeah.
You lost the email too?
Yeah.
So why didn't you call me again and ask for it?
I was afraid you'd be mad at me.
No, I wouldn't get mad at you then, but I get mad at you now for doing nothing and wasting all that time.
Yeah.
And you haven't lost any weight. So what's the point of coming here and going back and coming back and not losing weight in all that time? So what is with that?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I guess it was just lazy on my part.
You want to kill yourself with the food? Be my guest. So why you didn't lose weight?
I didn't put any effort in, I guess.
What do you mean?
I didn't do my part like I should have by calling you and telling you that I lost it.
You didn't do that, but couldn't you eat more appropriately? For you to be 650 pounds, you have to eat 7,000 to 8,000 calories a day to keep that weight on.
Yes, sir.
After a stern warning from Dr. Now, he sends Shauna away with a new copy of the paperwork, including the diet and exercise plans. He's requested that she lose 80 pounds over 2 months, stressing that this will be her last chance to lose the weight before she's kicked out the program for good. With some stars of the show, they actually do the diet for a few weeks and slowly go downhill, but with Shauna, she never even starts.
The past month has not gone anywhere like how I wanted it. Basically, my mom told me I had to move out and I had nowhere to live all of a sudden. So I basically had to pack everything and move out. My mom gave me a little money to try and help me transition to being on my own. And she also told me that she can't keep paying Derica to take care of me. And so I have no one to move to Texas with me now. So I feel like my life is just flipped upside down. I'm trying to figure out how to survive. And I'm scared because I feel really lost. I just feel bad and it's all my fault and I don't know what to do and I just feel like it's gonna all crumble down around me and I hate being by myself because I know whenever I'm alone I just feel like everything just goes spiraling out of control and I just don't know what to do anymore.
Struggling with her new living position and no longer having Derica to take care of her, Shauna misses her appointment with Dr. Now. She's living in squalor pretty much. Her house is filthy and she's making absolutely no effort to do anything to fix her life. Shauna has just accepted her situation and doesn't feel like making any progress. Concerned over her well-being from not hearing from her, Dr. Now arranges a video call appointment to check in on her.
Missed another appointment. So what's going on with you?
I don't know right now.
Is mom not with you anymore?
No, she moved to Arizona for work.
Okay. So what happened to Derica's?
He abandoned me. He's left. It was just one thing after another.
The fact that Shauna says that Derica abandoned her is also completely self-pitying. As he didn't abandon her mother has simply stopped paying him. How can she expect him to just keep looking after her off his own back without getting paid? And one YouTube commenter completely agreed with me. Derica abandoned her, give me a break. Mom stopped paying him. And why hasn't she at least followed the diet? Well, like you'd guess, she's lost the paperwork yet again. Or rather in this case, misplaced it.
You still have the diet?
Those are in the boxes I have packed, my stuff. I wasn't able to bring all my stuff with me, so...
Okay, so what good does it do packed up? Shauna, I think at this point you need to find a way to come down to Houston and be part of a program so we can get your weight down, because it looked like you're almost gonna hit 700 pounds and it's gonna be a BMI of over 100 and it's gonna be a very dangerous situation for you, okay?
Okay.
Now in a last-ditch attempt, Shauna's mother agrees to help her move to Houston so that she can be closer to Dr. Now for support. Buying her a one-way ticket, Shauna is dropped off at the airport and make her solo journey to Houston.
I'm really scared right now. I'm already starting to hurt a lot. I feel like my legs are giving out. This is really hard and it's more activity I think I've had in a long time. This is already too much. I'm so exhausted, but I just hope I don't run out of energy before I get to the gate. I hope the rest of the way isn't going to be too hard of a walk. So really nervous about getting on the plane. How that's going to go. I just hope I don't get stuck in the aisle or can't fit in the seat or something. I'm very relieved I made it on. I'm really tired, but I'm excited about that. Being able to do that was my biggest fear. So I'm feeling better right now, and I'm just going to try and not think about all the stuff I still have to do when I get to Houston. It all overwhelms me. My mom gave me money for a hotel that'll last me a little bit. And I have to make sure I lose the weight Dr. Now says I have to lose before my appointment in a month. But right now, I just need to rest. And then when I get to Houston, I'll worry about it and figure it all out. Somehow.
It's a good job the flight doesn't look too busy, because there's no way anyone could sit in the same aisle as Shauna, considering she's taken up almost 3 seats. Once landed in Houston, Shauna spends the majority of her time cooped up in the hotel room, because she doesn't have any friends in the area to go out with. The first time she leaves the hotel is for her appointment with Dr. Now a month later, and once she's on the scales, Shauna is down to 623 pounds, losing just half of what Dr. Now told her to. A loss is a loss, I suppose, and she's heading in the right direction. Pleased with her progress, Dr. Now gives her another 2 months to lose more weight before she qualifies for the weight loss surgery, and instructs her that she has to see a therapist to overcome her food addiction. Now, a few days later, Shauna does see the therapist and opens up about all the abuse she went through with her dad, and how much she blamed herself because of it.
When we push through it, it's gonna give you access to stuff that you didn't have before.
I don't know how bad I know. I just want to go eat like a giant freaking pizza right now.
That's what you feel like doing?
Yeah, honestly.
Okay. But you gotta stand on the eating plan if you're gonna stay in the program and reach the next level, which is having the surgery, right?
Yeah.
So you should be doing everything you can to stay on the diet.
And it's clear from the session why Shauna has a food addiction. And it's because she runs to food as soon as she feels the slightest bit uncomfortable. It's easier for her to order a pizza to make her feel better in the moment than to actively work on the issues she's suffering from. To give Shauna some healthier options to cope with her emotions instead of eating, the therapist suggests that she goes out for a walk instead, or do some physical activity to take her mind off it. And the therapy session seems like it ended pretty positively, but when Shauna returns to her hotel, the bad habits take over again.
Because I feel like I'm struggling even more right now. Because when things come in my mind that I don't want in my mind, then I try to use something that's not food to deal with it. Afterwards, it's like it's worse. And the cravings are stronger. Kind of like my cravings punish me for trying that. So like I start to think about things my dad has said to me. I'll try to go for a walk to forget. But then after that, all I really want to do is eat as much as I can. I think the snack station here at the hotel lets you get things and charge them to the room. So that place has become my biggest temptation. But I'm trying to find ways to cope that aren't eating. But this is just hard. And part of me wishes I didn't start this process. Because I feel like it's kind of just blowing up in my face.
Having a full-on snack room in the hotel is just a recipe for disaster, as she spends a huge amount of time in there taking as many snacks as she wants. Especially as they're charged to the hotel room, which her mother is paying for, so there's no financial struggle there, so she can just eat as much as she wants, without footing the bill for it. Another month rolls by and Shauna is back at Dr. Now's office for her appointment, and to no one's surprise, the weight loss plan has mysteriously disappeared yet again.
But it's been harder this time, with the therapy stuff, and I lost the diet again. So I'm doing it all off memory for the past few weeks.
It's obvious that the only thing Shauna has memorized is the way to the snack room from her hotel room, because since her appointment over 2 months ago, she hasn't lost any weight, instead gaining 13 pounds. When Dr. Now questions what she's been doing all this time, it seems like Shauna is trying to act like she's been reading the diet plan a lot, even though she's lost it, and makes up some food combinations she's been eating on the spot.
Do you still have the diet, or did you lose it again?
Honestly, I lost it again.
Are you serious? So we need to give you another copy?
Could you?
We give you another copy and read it?
Yes, sir.
At this point, I doubt that, because this will be the 4th copy we are giving you.
Shauna clearly has never opened the diet plan once, and she is obviously straight up lying to Dr. Now that she's lost it. When asked about her exercise, she's not been doing much of that either.
Okay, so what do you do all day?
Play with my dog in the room, really.
You and your dog, huh?
Yeah.
So, no exercise?
Took her out sometimes, and I walk her out, and then I walk her back in.
It's really sad that Shauna isn't taking care of her dog properly. Dogs need to be walked at least daily, and even when we got a look at her hotel room before, I noticed that there was a puppy pad in the room. I think that Shauna isn't even letting her dog out of the room to go to the toilet outside, and is just making them go to the toilet in the bedroom. I can't imagine not taking Bruno out for a daily walk, not to even mention keeping him locked up in a hotel room all day. That's just cruel, to be honest, and clearly she's not in a good place to be looking after an animal. Disappointed in the fact she's not qualified for weight loss surgery, Shauna tries to pass the blame onto everyone but herself.
I'll try harder, but I'm frustrated because I don't feel like this is my fault. I think the therapy messed me up some. And now I'm so scared I'm gonna fail and mess this up. And it's terrifying to hear Dr. Now say I only have one chance left. Because without this, I'm doomed. I'm gonna die soon.
An entire year into the program, Shauna is back at Dr. Now's office a month after her last appointment. And despite not losing the plan this time, her weight has increased dramatically. Now, Shauna weighs more than when she started the show, gaining another 25 pounds, making her 661 pounds. Dr. Now is really disappointed, mostly at the speed in which she's gaining weight. Gaining 25 pounds in 1 month is disastrous, and Shauna is going in the completely wrong direction, despite all the help she's received. Now, due to this, Dr. Now makes a tough decision to stop seeing Shauna, as she's clearly not committed to the program and is wasting everyone's time. She's had an entire year to make a change, and after everything, all she's done is just gain even more weight. In order to come back to the program, she needs to lose at least 50 pounds to even be considered again. Despite this, Dr. Now allows Shauna to continue with the therapy sessions and gives her some housing options in Houston. So if she does want to get back in the program, she will be in the right location to do so. Shauna leaves us worse than when we found her, and a Redditor put this perfectly. After doing some digging, it doesn't seem like Shauna made any progress after the show at all, actually gaining more weight and putting herself in an even worse situation. In an update from around February, a YouTube commenter wrote that Shauna's weight had actually spiked to 720 pounds. It really seems like Shauna was destined to fail from the moment we saw her on the show. She made no effort at all, not caring enough to change, and she blamed everyone for not losing the weight, but herself. On the plus side, Shauna is still very young, and I really hope she'll find the strength to turn her life around before it's too late. And if you want to see someone else who was completely immature throughout their entire episode and had been treated like a baby for their entire life, click the video that's on your screen now. Make sure you visit fatlesskitchen.com to get your hands on my cookbook. Subscribe so you don't miss a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.